Hey everyone, Steph will be right out. She had to run away for a minute. Sorry we're late, guys. My appointment ran late. Then we decided we'd go grab a bite to eat over with the community. So we sat down. Hold on a second, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. Hi, Crafty. Steph was connected to the Bluetooth speaker, so I had to holler at her real quick and tell her to unconnect because it was echoing. Hey, Jerry. Hold on a second, guys. Let me go let the boss in. Oh. She's been outside today more than she's been inside, I think. So how's everyone doing? How's Crafty doing? How's Jerry doing? Ah, fashionably late, I see.
As always. My mama did say I'm beat to my own tune. Hey, y'all, welcome in, y'all. Yeah, it's been like a roller coaster today. I've been up since what? Well, I didn't sleep.
What do you mean been up since? We didn't go to bed. I didn't go to sleep till well after 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning. Got about an hour and a half of sleep and then on the road.
Yeah. All right. My body's definitely let me know that I left my evening meds that I take, before 5 p.m.
Here
at the house today while we were gone. Would you mind grabbing that? Hey, y'all. So this is not a sale this evening. This is a back porch event. And yes, it says after dark, y'all. We did have that spring forward, so the hours, there's more hours in the day, right? So I just figured we'll just stick with it being after dark anyways, because Eastern, they're close to being dark already. Give me just a second, because I still didn't find that med. I went 2.5 days without a blood pressure med, y'all. So that's
here.
I took it when we got it. So it needs to go in that bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steph was busy over the last couple of days, so we had to stop at the pharmacy and pick up hypertension medication, because without it leads to other issues, heart issues. Yeah, bad genetics, bad life choices, y'all.
Boy.
Accountability today. Does anyone know what that is? Not what it says, what it is. That's Steph's nutrition shake I was supposed to take with us this morning. That's all right. We're getting things back on track. So I managed to take ibuprofen Tylenol. Now we're going to get to the blood pressure. What's up? Is C-Prods? Okay. C-Prods is in there. Y'all, I didn't see C-Prods go in there. I honestly thought Mr. was just having a conversation within there.
I was scrapping my.
I explained that first. I mentioned the whole thing about I didn't see C-Prods go in the kitchen, so.
Well, you thought I was in there talking to myself?
No, I thought you were talking to thin air. A huge difference. Huge difference.
Do
Hey,
you know
Robin.
I've seen enough doctors today that yeah, they might consider me in bad shape.
No, the one that seen you this morning just said they liked you so much you need to go see someone else. But anyways, y'all, just a day in life of cigarettes. I'll take that. We need to get chairs or something, y'all.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab the.
I really did not prep in advance for Jesus, please.
That's a piece of glass.
Second one in 2 days. It's all right. It's a tile. I'm pretty sure that was Portugal signed.
Wow.
Vintage. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
No,
Hey.
that was the Ozarks.
Awesome, because that was already broke, so it might have broken the same space.
Except for the missing pieces.
Oh, darn, no. The original crack is right there. Yeah. Dude.
You know what we do with this? I've got a person that you can go to.
Exactly.
I've got a person that you can go
Exactly.
to. See if I can find the other pieces and I'll put it in his
Would you
box.
like me to tell you where it is? Or would you like me to just
Smart butt.
just gonna say it's right behind your right shoe?
Except for there's more than just that one.
Oh. Hey y'all, we got a puzzle together. Well, sort of. There is one piece.
It looks like a shark tooth.
It does look like a shark fin or a shark tooth. Dude, we'll find it.
Yeah, we'll
It's
find
not
it.
like I walk here in bare feet because Steph breaks glass on a regular. So
But yeah, I've got a person that can go to that likes
yeah.
that kind of stuff
Alright.
to work with. So.
So this box has some glass in it. You want to take care of it too. That's what I was trying to do. Alrighty. Woo, woo. Yo, welcome in. This is another episode of Life in the Real with Steph and Mr.Steph. So,
I'll go ahead and get me a chair in a second. I'll just go ahead and get my chair
Okay.
from the porch. I need a marker because I'm putting a name on this bag.
So I wasn't going to ask out loud, but do you know where my hormone pill is? Because
Oh, it was in the bag.
I thought so too, but I think it might have got spilt during our travel.
I'll look for it in a minute. That's who you were thinking too, right?
I mean, that was one of 3 people I was thinking of. So yeah, that one was right. Just don't say their name. Let it be a surprise when they get it.
Here you go.
How do you think they're going to incorporate that in their crafting? Don't know. I guess we'll have to stay tuned. They got content on their channel,
Mhm.
yeah.
Probably brick and mortar and then the
See, Prods,
pieces.
this is where I'm going to remind you
We are live.
we are live.
Mhm.
And I have not slept
More than like an hour and a half.
since the night before last. So, let's just keep calm, chill out, have a good time, but let's not get carried away.
Life in the Chaos Emporium. True story, Robin.
Thank you, Robin. That girl will be calling it the way she calls it. All right, y'all.
Hey, Randy.
I am very much taking a,
Trying to catch our breath, Randy.
trying to catch our breath. Y'all, can I share with y'all just for a moment a bargain that I really enjoy? This is a stress relief energy boost to menopause relief. This baby at Walmart typically sells for right around $20, right? I got it for $7. Pretty cool. It says 28 days. So typically it's depending on where I'm able to pick those up at. I'm usually $40 in every month. So it's weird, but hey, this is plant-based, so it works. I'm gonna use it, but I am definitely feel like I'm in an iron thanks
Yeah.
Renaissance
Corset.
corset. Thank you. So very much having issues with the breathing a little. Nothing unusual. It's just It's crazy, y'all, because Grandma says Grandma ended up with a hysterectomy back in the 60s, late 60s. She says she went through menopause. I know everybody's different. I just wish I had give my mom more stock when she went through menopause. Ooh, alrighty. Here we go. Let's see. Mister's getting his chair. I got my chair. I think all the glasses were removed from my immediate area.
Hi, Lena. Welcome back in.
Y'all. I'm gonna step off just for a minute because my face don't lie, and I basically am uncomfortable. Just feels like a vice. I'm all right.
All right.
So I'm gonna jump over into your active chat so I can welcome everybody in.
That works.
I need to get through this way because it's uncomfortable. All right, first in chat, whoop whoop, Timmy. Close second, Jessica Dumpster Girl. Girl, Mister told me earlier that you needed me to call you. I apologize, I haven't made it happen yet. I ended up running into a couple of folks in between his appointments that needed outreach. It's not an excuse. It just explains why I have not been with my phone most of the day. Alrighty, let's see. Lena, girl, I'm gonna catch up with you this evening after this. Yeah. It's about Friday, so you're not in trouble, I promise you. You okay?
Yeah. Let's go use the restroom.
You're good. Hey, there's Crafty Witch 232. Welcome in, girl. How's it going? How's the weather over there in the Rockies? Girl, we got so much rain. We got some footage, I think, on national news. It's cray-cray. But we were able to check in with 9/10 of our clients, and the ones we weren't, we were assured there's some proper channels that everyone did ride out that storm. The common thing today is, most importantly, all their bedding's wet, clothing, all that. So thankfully we do carry inventory in our vehicles, so we might be less one man's outfit.
Get into the winter time and I have a backpack that's fully set up.
We don't mention that for anything other than just to kind of let you know how our afternoon went in between appointments. All right. Hey, George, welcome in.
A long day of appointments.
Robin, y'all, I'm kind of doing this backwards because it jumped on me. There's Randy. Welcome in.
Hey, Donna
So
Lee.
what's happening on the back porch, guys? Right now, Randy, currently, I am steadying at a level like 7 with a bias. Meaning I'm having a hot flash. So that's why I'm not on screen at the moment. I'm just trying to breathe and just remind myself this is temporary. But anyway, let's see. Ooh, there's Donna Lee. And there's Abby.
Hey, Abby.
Alrighty. I think we're going to get over here. Y'all, I might choose funky looks. Tell you, puberty was not this hard. I imagine it was hard. But the reverse of puberty, I didn't know would happen so soon.
Seriously, bipolar weather. Half of the state of Kansas is floating away. The other half of the state is burning to the ground.
Literally. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke in there, and not because the Flint Hill's been on fire. I can tell you that. The air quality. But other than that, we did survive with our vehicles, both the broken down one and the one that
we lucked out. We didn't get the big hail.
We did get the big hail.
Hit Kansas City and up into Nebraska. Mm-hmm. Tornadoes, we had them all around us. Clay Center, they had 4. Another little town over there by there, they had an F3 that come down.
So 35 miles on the pavement.
Concordia.
So Concordia, if
It's what
just a second, if y'all are familiar with Kansas road geography, if you're in Wichita and you drive up to Salina, you can take the right, which is east, and go to Kansas City, or you can take a left and go to Denver. Okay, or you can go north to Concordia. The importance is to know that Concordia is
Up in that
tracked
corner.
that way. It is not as close to us as it's reported to
Reed
be
Timmer, and then we're
sometimes.
up chasing up in Concordia.
So that's the area that we usually get mistaken for once in a great while. So
Trying to do things theater.
y'all, as much as we joke about the weather can turn serious.
We pay attention.
moment.
We don't freak. We just pay attention.
We only typically get hit by F-zeros. Yes, there's footage on that, and it was uploaded springtime last year. So somewhere on my YouTube. Past that, we just try to be who we are. We try to be the best versions of who we are from yesterday. So that's just honestly who we are. And if you meet us anywhere off of YouTube and community standards on other platforms, it's important to understand that's not just a YouTube thing, y'all. Platforms have guidelines for a reason. And you have to operate in those. So this is a red box that's 2.5 inches long.
But it's blue.
But it's blue. Doesn't matter that I think it's red and you know it's blue. We can agree with the rest of it and what it is, right? Doesn't matter how we get there, y'all, as long as we all get there. And that's what everything's about. So this is what the back porch is about. So I'm glad Randy asked. Hey, George, I'm not sure, questioning on whether I said hello. Still breathing through that. But anyway.
Hey, Kraken Mary.
Hey, Kraken Mary. Welcome, girl. It was good seeing you the other evening. Girl, I have to tell you, I had a provider appointment yesterday. If you know, you know, right? So heads up, girl. Wait, you ain't wrenched? Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. I've got to get a device open.
There's a bunch of people that aren't wrenched.
She's the second one in 2 days. Someone, who was it? Yes. Well, I don't say names,
I don't
but
remember
there was
who it
someone
was. There was someone
yesterday,
yesterday I
right?
had to wrench. It was, she's in her chat, actually. It's a bank person.
Oh. Duh, Steph.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. All right. All righty, y'all. I'm having a hot flash. I'm trying to breathe through it. It's not just that I had a squirrel moment and lost my train of thought.
Sure. Welcome to the back porch event.
Welcome in, y'all. Trying to get there.
Don't want you.
I get your wrench back, girl. Yeah, there's someone active in chat that yesterday we were like, Ellie, what do you need? Do you need a body?
Yeah, I'm taking it.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, because I can't do it from StreamYard and the laptop's toast. It works, but only when it wants to. There we are. Hey, what do y'all think of the thumbnail for our back porch? It's I was going to use for something else, and this morning after the lady shows, like, you know what, we're just going to roll with it. Mister's like, do it. So that's what we did. Oh, it's been a while since I had one that's, it's like revamping. Oh, I don't have my fan on. That might be part of it.
I didn't do it.
My
In my
desk-
defense, the desk is slanted.
The desk is slanted. We have authentic wood floors. The house
Yeah,
is
no.
almost an antique.
Almost it is.
Is it? I thought it was almost.
No, it's like 24.
Oh, wow.
Back to 24.
ACDC.
Hey, CDC vintage.
Sorry, y'all. Mister, can you come over for a minute? I got to try to watch this one off.
So yeah, back porch event's just a place where we can all come hang out.
Tell them
Laugh.
what we don't
Yeah, we don't do drama. We don't call people out by name in here. Anything like that. Yeah, just the normal, what I call common sense stuff. Treat everybody as you want to be treated. Life is so much easier that way.
What are some of the topics cover or could cover while we're
Well,
live?
pretty much, we cover pretty much any topic on the back porch event, besides religion and politics. I don't do religion and politics. I thought you wrenched Cracker Mary.
I thought I did, but the phone dropped too. So wait, make sure I'm not on the pups.
You're on this one because otherwise it wouldn't let me add as much.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it might be on the pup.
So pretty much this is a safe space. If you're having a rough day and you just need someone, hey, I need someone just to kind of lay it all out to. This is a good safe space to do that. Pretty much topics are pretty much open. Like I said, we don't bash people. We don't talk politics or religion because every war has been fought over politics and religion. So we don't go there. It's not worth the hassle and the fight and the argument. So
We value our relationship.
yeah, about your relationships. Yeah, people are nuts with politics though.
And not just in 2026, y'all. This is not new.
No, it's not new. Other than that, enjoy, guys. It's a good, safe place to connect and grow, and everybody chat and hang up. So
And we typically just come and go.
there's Kraken.
Ooh, he's not. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, Craig, if you had this on in the background. I was a little loud. All right, and good griefs. So 3 in 2 days. So maybe whose channel was that that was saying
I had
about
two
YouTube
that I was
that
unsubbed
they were
to.
unsubbed to?
I was
too?
unsubbed to 2 different ones that I'm in all the time.
All right, so I'm adding them as a moderator. I'm only asking because YouTube changed stuff.
Yes.
So I'm adding them
Yep.
as a moderator, but
Standard.
standard, right?
Yep.
So y'all, he cracking, Mary, he
The other one really
everybody.
don't give you much more power.
So y'all, let's clarify something really quick. I just need to, so I don't lose thought. Yeah, I'm still experiencing. Y'all, it can happen for at least another 5 years. Is what my doctor says. Almost feels like I'm running on a treadmill. Y'all, it's good to see you. Can we just start there? And if I get emotional, I'm going to blame it on the fact that I made the right decision for myself coming into this week. As a mom, I have a vehicle that I wouldn't drive out of the county other than maybe across the river because it's just right there. I wouldn't drive to the farm right now with our vehicle. The vehicle we take y'all's packages with, because right now it only gets 12 miles to the gallon because one of the cylinders, whatever, 6 was a 5, got back to like a 5.5. Not pity, y'all, just explanation because I feel like we're close to being in the same chapter of the book now, okay? So we're just kind of clearing a few things up. I have people up here in the Flint Hills. I have absolute that I could ask to borrow the vehicle in the field to get to firecrackers graduation. Y'all, if y'all think me mentioning that yesterday, I think it was, my days are blending right now. Here's the thing. Over the course of almost 2 years of being here on YouTube under this channel, almost not quite 2 yet, y'all, I've met some really great content creators and great channels. And believe it or not, some really amazing women. These women range from I could be their sister, their bigger sister for age, to these women could be my grandmother. I'm going to pull from earlier today, Miss Miriam most certainly made sure everyone understood her age. She's a year older or a year younger than my grandma. So I just think it's cool, and Grandma loves Marianne. But we're still getting her used to the computer. Grandma does have a farm YouTube channel though, y'all. Someday, hopefully soon, maybe in the next season, summer, because we're still technically in spring. I know I'm talking a little low, y'all. I feel like my chest is in a vice. We're just walking through it. So,
None.
I'm having to breathe, and as I'm breathing, I'm just gonna. So, like, whatever thought I just had, I'm probably gonna lose. We'll call it. No, I know where I'm at. Thank you. I know where I'm at. All right, sorry, y'all.
Still sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
Cracking. That's how your mom's doing. Yeah, it's
She's so Mr. saying she's still on the shelf means that in the last March, the end of March, the last remaining, not the last remaining, but the last ascended from female, my mom's line passed away. If I had been able to get there, but the axle was still being, my mom wouldn't be in that box. So that's the reality. Kraken just getting you
and
caught up.
George, the theater seats are actually at her grandma's out in the metal pile.
And George, I thought I had a little bit more footage about that because I did, but I don't on the device I thought I did. So I'm gonna look in my drives and stuff because George, this is who I am. Y'all remember the 110 film? There was a time where my mom was a single parent. Just background, okay? 110 film I think cost like $1.38 at Kmart. That's gonna date me a lot. I don't care. The roll was 27 exposures, maybe 24. Okay. The point of it is, I still have all that film. Never get it. That film may or may not be intact. Who knows? But the cool thing is, since we all converted to smartphones, we've kept every device. Interesting enough about Steph is the person Steph has become, meaning, life wasn't easy in the beginning. Steph documents everything. My dad, I remember when Jess was 5-6 months old, smiling and holding her head up for the first time. My dad loved me. He was a trucker. Loved me with one of the Walmart exposure cameras. 27 exposures. It was all of just smiling. I didn't think my dad would mind. We are so spoiled with our smartphones now, y'all. But every device that I've got is tied to a Google Drive. So I've got content for years. I'm gonna start. I've been uploading some of it privately, meaning I'm not sure how much of it, because I need to get space on my devices. I think that's what's going on with them right now is I get paid for that extra Google storage this last week. So my phones are just kind of freaking out. It is what it is, y'all. Y'all, with that said, I'm just kind of all over the place, and that's okay. What I can tell you is, y'all, this isn't the first time in 2026 the stuff has been deregulated, for lack of a better word. What does that mean? It means where not everything is running like routine, right? Like there's a wrench that we didn't count on type of thing, but it's been like that for a while. So in real time, because I don't have time in either this semester to take a break from our sales channel. We are okay. I fully read that. I'll look up in a minute. I see what you said, Jessica. So I'll get to that in a second. You know, there's a phrase that's I haven't forgot about the other thing, but here there's a phrase. I lost that one because I hooked back on the other one. Being deregulated. It's where you're out of sorts, whether, it's kind of like when you get the common cold or the flu or something, you get out of routine. So that's the deregulation that I'm talking about. And I'm doing my absolute best, Joe. I want to tell y'all today, y'all were incredible. Just being who you are and just remaining that way. So thank you. When life happens in real time and others are involved in some way, even if it's association, you have to think about things before you do them. So like for me, this has been most of my life, but when I became a military mom a little over 7 years ago, I learned that anything I said, did, could and probably would reflect on my service member. And at that point, it was just. So I learned the one thing my daddy always worried about is that I would not learn to shut my mouth. Well, I'm still working on that. I'm still probably slightly disappointing him in that sense. Not like that, but just like stuff. I know. Here's the thing. It's not. All right. Trying to figure out how I'm trying to say this because I can't get to the point. So just thank y'all for accepting me for who I am. Because I've never tried to portray myself as anything other than who I am. The good days, the hard days, the ugly days. The ugly days meaning the days where you just want to throw all the equipment out the window and just be done. For no other reason than just to do it, probably. I will tell you in the journey to YouTube in our first 500. It took a good while, and Tuber chatting most affectionately said when he realized I was in the room one day and across that. I'm sure he noticed it before that, but it was the first time I'd been in his chat. And he said something to the fact of how deserving it was, meaning that I'd done it organically. I'd done it on the hard days. I'd done it through the tears. Stuff. Y'all, Jessica is okay. Okay. And Jessica, we'll get to that in a minute. I promise you, girl, I haven't forgot. It is not easy to be this vulnerable. It is not easy to be this public. I really do enjoy my private life being private. However, a lot of folks come and go, and some of them think they were given a permanent marker to continue writing their narrative to my story. Ain't nobody got that power but me. I don't even get that power to muster. And that's not to say he's less than. That's to say I'm my own individual person, and so is he. So there's that. All right, so we're going to circle back to the women that have blessed me here on YouTube. Y'all, I'm not looking at checks. I don't want to get stuck there emotionally in the moment. No, I feel the love. I know the love. Because y'all never changed, even on the hard days. No matter what's going on. No matter if you're having a hard day. No matter if You know, if we're during a sale and I have to time out a friend, and then have to time them out a couple more times because maybe they have a couple more accounts. So with that friend, you know who you are. That 24-hour hold should be done soon. That's a YouTube thing. I just chose what time to time me out for. Yes, they've been communicating with me and we've been communicating with them as much as we could through appointments today. All right, so what else? Y'all, I'm not going to name names. You know who you are. You're the ones that come into a room and you lift people up, regardless if you're facing your own struggle, like Jess. So,
Well, kind of like Kraken coming in telling a joke.
or, yeah, Kraken coming in and telling a joke. We don't mix everything together. We do our best not to. As I was gaining to our first 500, the question was, would we still monetize? Did we want to? That's a story for another day. And then did we want to continue growing? Y'all, if you've been with us since before 500, I can most certainly tell you you're a huge part of why we chose to grow. Now, when you choose to grow, not everybody that calls you a friend, this is not pointing fingers. It's just in general speaking. Not everybody that calls you friend or is a cheerleader is really there for whatever reason, right? That's between them and their staff, not me. Sometimes our seasons together are very short-lived. Y'all, let me tell you what you can expect if you and I ever have a misunderstanding. If you have my cell phone number and you don't abuse it, I don't block you. If you have my email and you don't abuse it, I don't block you. If you keep my chat and our channel safe, yes, it's my channel under my name, but that chat's y'all's. That chat wouldn't even exist if you weren't here. That's just a fact. Now, I did something interesting. Y'all see Kraken Mary? Jessica haven't forgot. Still with the ladies. Sunday evening, y'all, Mr. and I strolled over to Black Widow's. Yeah, the Black Widow's web. For one, I needed to re-up my membership. Oh, yeah. She has different levels, perks for different things. Y'all, I promise you, I'm working on getting videos for members up. I think I might have done one in the last 10 days. If I did not, definitely thought I was going to. Thank you for still being a member, even though I'm lacking in that department for the moment. I know that's not why you do it, but I just want you to know. I am aware of where I'm lacking as far as that aspect. Here's the thing. Yeah, we're just kind of going off, but here, I guess that's how it's supposed to roll. I've had some inquiries since we become monetized if we would do a members auction. Y'all, if y'all attended the members auction today, you understand what I mean by members auction. Let me explain monetization for you. My monetization, well, for one, it don't matter whose channel it is. If they're monetized, they have to break the 100 threshold before YouTube releases those funds. They only release them a certain time of the month. So key on that. If you miss that date, you only have $99 and you get that dollar the next day, you're still waiting. I think it's 28 days. I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining because some people have some misinformation on what monetization is. So monetization helps offset the cost of our giveaways. It helps offset the cost of when a discounted shipping company makes me pay for labels twice. Y'all, If you're a buyer of mine, I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. It's not your problem. It is a problem with pirate ship. PayPal is on it. Okay? It's not an instant fix. We live mostly in an instant world. Bank stuff doesn't instantly get fixed. We're okay. With that, we're selling from the Flint Hills on Friday instead of being on. And that's where I circle back down to this. I can't name names, but you know who you are. Whether you're a mother, grandmother, whether your sister, a niece, you know what it's like just to stand with someone. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to give them the answers. Just standing with them so they know, hey, whatever they're facing, they're not facing physically alone, so to speak, right? The only thing it's taking is your time and the effort to be there. No other thing. It's a lot of what y'all do for me. Us selling is a moment where I can remember that I have value in the world and I'm capable, even though I'm legally disabled and have been for a long time. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta take a couple cleansing breaths. It's not quite as tight, but give me a second. I will, George. Thank you. And then Jessica, we will circle to Friday, girl. I promise. Not letting you down, even if I've got to hawk something. Okay. Jessica's okay, y'all. She has a bill of less than $80. It's an essential bill. That is all I can tell you. An essential bill is less than $80. The only reason why I'm bringing it here, the only reason why I'm bringing it at all is because Friday we will be donating part of our proceeds, meaning immediate. Those funds will not come to my account. They will go to Jessica's account, and we'll do it the right way, y'all. Even if I have to pay for a mod that is trusted to be during that sale, I'm gonna roll it right. But y'all, I don't have $70 to send Jessica to help her with her essential bill, and she doesn't want to be portrayed as needy. She's in need, and there is a difference. And my mama taught me that. And I thank God every day she did, because she has been gone for almost 6 years. It's something she told me a long time ago about our southern roots, which you could count on them. We got Yarnigan that apparently is a southerner now. I say that respectfully, so Teresa, if you come and catch this part, just know I mean that respectfully, honey. You got Dawn, that's a southerner. You've got it's me, Angie, that's a southerner. You got Robin, a southerner. The point of it is, y'all, we are our backup plan, and that's okay. But when it happens in real time, especially when your primarily activity is business, it's hard to create distance enough not to cause those waves and misunderstandings.
So George was wanting us to explain how we work our
I know.
boxes.
I know, and I meant to touch on that before we touched on Jessica's, but Jessica's needed to be done. Jessica, I'm going to ask you to do one thing right now. I want you to trust me. And I want you to trust our community. And I want you to put your PayPal email in the chat. And allow anybody privately to be able to send you, even if it's $1, girl. Okay?
$1.70
You're not begging
times is
anyone.
$70.
You ain't begging nobody a darn thing.
Nope.
You're just saying, hey, I've got a need. I need to hustle. And I want y'all to know that girl reached out to me last week. She's willing. Willing. Jessica, is that the part you said it was okay to tell them? She's willing. Jessica, I'm going to assume that's what you were saying. I could tell them. Jessica's been on YouTube for a long time, y'all. Most of y'all know her history, good, bad, and indifferent. I'm not here to point out any of it. Other than say that Jessica, Dumpster Girl, the woman I've known in my chat, isn't the same Jessica a lot of people knew 4 and 5 years ago. She did not ask me to do a benefit for her. She didn't ask any of that. Now, I told her probably Friday, Saturday, to give me 24 hours to see if I could hustle, make things happen that I can never make happen for me right now. Not pity, y'all, just being real. The interesting thing about asking for help, some of us have asked for help and have been harmed, whether we were a child and we seen someone dismissed, something. A lot of people don't ask for support and assistance because of the shame that's done. That's not a YouTube problem, that's a world problem. Baby, I promise you, girl. I know right there, I'm doing my best not to let them run. George, let me get this out and then I will get your answer. Y'all, you know, in some way, we're not going to discuss it in my chat, okay? I would like it not to be discussed over because my original history on YouTube has left me alone for a while. For a significant while, more than 6 months. If you know, you know. I typically tell people, if I ever tell you I'm done or you hear I'm done, it's not a question mark, it's a statement. Just so y'all know, we don't get there via here. Things add up. If you knock me off my kilter and you're doing it deliberately, ever, this is just in general, not a YouTube thing. By the time I figure it out, I've already cut you out. Here's what you need to know. When I love people and I tell them I love them, I'm going to tell Jessica right now, girl, I love you. And I mean that. What do I mean by that? It means I love you enough to lay over you if you needed me in a hurricane, but we drowned. So a tornado. No, I'm not just making stuff up, y'all. I'm just trying to keep it in regulation. It means you showing up if you had that ability. Girl, if you made it all the way here, knocked on my door, I'd want to know if you were okay. Jessica, girl, we all have history. If we've aimed to be anything on YouTube or anywhere else, I need you to trust our communities. Girl, you told me when this all started with me. Yeah, she was one of them. Not all of them, but one of many mods.
So let's switch to George's topic.
All right. So how do we build boxes?
Okay, so I'm going to explain the whole actual process here.
All right. I can get off screen for a minute?
Yes, you can get off screen for a minute.
Thank you.
So if I bring this item up and you buy it, we mark your name on it so we know who it goes to and then it goes in a holding box. And after it's in the holding box or whatever, we make sure before we go on to the next item that all the information's wrote down. So by having all the info wrote down and having it all, I've got double checks, I've got names on everything, I've got it all wrote down on a notebook, so it lessens the chance of mistakes happening. They still happen. Try not to.
Let's go ahead and own one without names.
So I'm going to own one. We got an email the other day from a very, very great customer.
A very ethical customer.
That goes, hey, I got my box today, but none of this is stuff I ordered. It was like, could you take me a picture of this stuff so I know what order got messed up? You know, it really would come down to. So she sent pictures, and it was like, oh, well, I know who that order belongs to. So then we went looking for her box. It was still sitting on my shelf.
How did this mix-up even happen?
I tried to get too many boxes going at once instead of doing it my normal way.
So that heavy week where we had multiple boxes going out for people, that's how it initially happened.
Yeah, and then from that point, you know, we basically made it right with her. You know, she's great. She sent in the package back to me. My mess up. Thank God it was a good, honest person. Because if it wouldn't have been, they could have just taken the box and been like, hey, I never got my box.
So how did we ratify that without naming names?
Well, we, for one, got their box out, but we added a little extra to it because.
And what else was in there but not theirs?
Right. Then it also had a reprint label for them to slap on the other box and send it back my way. That way it's all on me. All they had to do is just do a little bit of work for me because I'm not there to do it. So then we get to the point. We've got it all wrote down and everything. We get to packing for the week. I get boxes. We get all your stuff out. I usually set it in on a table, and then I pull like each person's order out and do one person at a time. That way I don't end up with this here that was bought by George, and it ends up over here in Jessica's box because I have Jessica's stuff and George's stuff out. I do one order at a time. The way we build boxes for people, you know, no matter what, every week you pay your cost of goods. You know, if you bought this candle for $2, at the end of the week, it's costing you $2, even if we're holding on shipping. If we're holding on shipping, then you pay this, and then at either the 2-week mark or the month mark, depending on which way you went, then you get billed for whatever other items that you may have bought. So you bought this the first sell, then you bought this the second sell, and I'm going to invoice you for shipping. So I'm going to figure out what package this has got to go in, pack it up, get the weight, get the invoice out with the shipping and everything. And then once it's paid, that next week, it all goes out the door on its way to you.
Can we, so hear me, can we, not will we, hold a box, a large box, and build on a box without payment for a month? The short answer, y'all, because he's hesitating, is no. Why?
Done it.
We've done it, and it didn't just hurt us as business, it hurt our customers too. Why? Because, y'all, say we did a clearance pop-up sale tonight, and I'm $1 on this, right? But say, and I'm not pointing names out, so it's no one in chat, please. That has a coping problem, meaning they're coping in a wrong way. Retail therapy, and I'm not talking people sell channels. So understand that, y'all. No, I'm talking the retail therapy, that's how you cope, by going and getting something, or even on YouTube, and getting it because in the moment it makes you feel good, not because it's something that can bring you joy or bring good use to your life.
Yeah, Robin's good about forwarding boxes. She's got the bad luck of receiving other people's packages all the time.
Robin did receive one of my packages. Similar circumstances, but not exact. Meaning it was around a move time too. And that move had to be moved again. So now, if you know, you know. And if you don't, then don't go looking for the breadcrumbs because you're not going to get them. Because we don't do that. We don't do it either way as a buyer or as a seller.
Exactly, Randy. A grocery store doesn't let you buy food all month with the promise to pay at the end.
Randy, since you're active here in chat with me, would you mind if I use you as an example? Since I'm a buyer of yours and you're a buyer of mine occasionally. Yo, we don't get out of hand with each other. Why? Because we got bills to pay of our own. There's a lot of things Randy has purchased for me, and I'm like, and I see the stuff sourced out, and I'm like, OMG, right? Here's the thing, unless it speaks to me and it says, Randy wants this now, you better show it, type of thing, so you better take it home, right? I'm just going to leave it. Why? Because we don't do that. Now, if y'all ask us to, hey, Steph, do you have mugs? We're just going to go with mugs, for lack of a better word. If I don't have them available, but I know I have them in stock, I'll let you know. I'll bring them the next sale. If
The
I need
candles for George was that way.
yeah.
We knew we had them. It was just getting out to the box that they were in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because actually, we'll say about 80% of our personal items are still packed. Yeah, we haven't made it that far. Teresa's not the only one lacking in getting boxes unpacked. Life just hasn't slowed down.
It will.
But it will, because you know what? We're just going to harness that. So take this, for instance. Y'all seen all the goods that Randy's been bringing? Let's take the sale today. OMG, girl, I can't even have the device in my hand. That woman, she brought chipped stones, bracelets. Y'all, she brought them at rock bottom dollars. And I'm going to tell you something. If I had a nest egg, don't pity me, okay? 99% of my life, there was no nest egg. It just happened somehow. And it wasn't free. Meaning, like, one Christmas, my mama's friend got us Christmas.
Exactly, Randy. We also understand when people have certain dates that they get paid. You know, it's
so
pretty much you
so that's
email
the other
be
thing.
like, hey, I can't pay this Friday, but I get my check on Tuesday. Can we work something out?
That's happened more than once because
Heck yeah, I'll work out.
you know, some people get paid every 2 weeks, and for most months they fall within 3 days ish, one way or the other, right? But say you have an extra day and an extra week in that month, and I think there's 2 or 3 in the year, right? It throws your payoff. Guess what? Steph isn't going to cancel your invoice.
As long as you communicate.
As long as you communicate. With that said, y'all, I've got one. I'm not giggling. I'm just, matter of fact, I've got one where somehow the shipping get transcribed wrong for the address. Now that has happened to me. My customer caught it. They reached out earlier today and said, hey, Steph, I know what's going on. Just making sure. And I was like, it'll happen this evening because all I gotta do is transcribe. We weren't home a whole lot today. Actually, the longest we were home was
For the sale.
And I tried to lay down for a little bit because we had about an hour before we needed to leave again. I just couldn't sleep, so I figured that
It's
tonight
not
I'll
very
sleep
often
well.
that I have
Um,
appointments like that.
I know. Oh, this is not comfortable. Not this, y'all. This. I'm not complaining. It just. I'm envious in a healthy way of women who sail through menopause comfortably. All right, so take. I think I know there's part of you that were there for Randy's sales today. But just so y'all know, I wasn't in the back room. I was here like this, and we were hollering, "Heck yeah!" Except I wasn't touching a device. Why? Because y'all,
We got to be responsible.
I have to bid responsibly, not because I'm a business. But Randy, that's Moon Valley Crafts, y'all. That's a real business. What do I mean by that? I mean, she invoices and she does all her stuff the way you're supposed to. And she does a fine job of getting things out when she says she will. Y'all, it's been a minute since Steph's been on time for a whole lot. And y'all have been patient. And we are going to have a party to celebrate just Grace. And that's it. We're over 800. I think we were 811 earlier.
I think it's 810.
It was 810 when I got off. I think it was 811 earlier. So it's either there or not. That's a YouTube thing, y'all. Thank y'all. Sorry, I had to breathe through that one.
I'm not in chat, so
Oh, you're not in chat. Okay. So George says, I like doing monthly boxes with resellers because I'm like saving on shipping. George, I completely understand that. I used to have an unhealthy retail therapy session pretty regularly. That was before addiction, as far as the drug addiction ever went, just FYI. But the point is, I could get carried away very quickly, and I'll tell you something, y'all. If I hadn't had any sense of myself, I'd have been rolling because, I mean, Randy really, she brought items at rock bottom prices, not because there's no value in them, but because when she gets an item for, we're going to say $1, Randy, humor me. When she brings it to you, I've seen this more than once. I'm not going to point anything out directional-wise, where I know she's got one price in that item and she may only add $1 to it.
hey,
And
Moon.
sell it for that price. Now that's her business, right? Here's the thing. This pays for her groceries. Not this in itself, but this, hey Moon, but this and this and this. And it adds up to a box like George is talking about. No, I never want you power bidding
That's awesome. So Moon,
deliberately. If you ever come into any auction, whether it's on my channel or elsewhere, and you're wanting to tell the audience, hey, I'm interested in this, I'm going to tell you how I power bid on Randy. Oh, yeah, because I've done it. This is how I power bid on Randy when we're, say, over at the Two Guys or Josie's or the ladies, whether it's on Yarnigans or Dawn's. If, say, this necklace, yeah, I've got one. This necklace is, Lord mercy, I've seen paparazzi now, they get $30. So there's my squirrel moment. Yada, yada, yada. I think y'all get the gist of it. But, you know, I really did lose that thought. And it's okay. Right now, it's just really decompressing, and that's what the back porch is tonight. It's for us, for anybody. It just needs to save space outside of bashing anybody. Because that's not what our business. That's not what we've ever been about. I mean, back in the game, we could be thugs, y'all. Meaning, we could be calculated. We could be the people that. I gave that lifestyle and that life up a long time ago. It is not my prison sentence. Yeah, Steph is on Social Security. Don't know for how long. I mentioned earlier, I was 100% disabled. So when I tell you, I understand if you get a Social Security check each and every month, then that's how you're going to make your payment for your invoice. Y'all, if I bring this item to sell and it's a sunflower, and you're like, let's get this for Steph and gift it back to her. Don't. If I bring something to sell, it's because I need to sell it. I need the funds. Okay. We got to do this stuff the right way, y'all. If we can't hear me out, y'all, I apologize if it comes out wrong. We both have over a decade of sobriety. We're flawed people. We don't point that part out other than to say, trust me, we've got experience. Sorry, my hair is typing, so I'm kind of stalemate for a minute.
Why? I'm working on that one.
Because my head hurts. I can't circle back to it.
Sorry.
Sorry, y'all. It's not even your fault, mister. I remember this is from George, and then I'll go up and look a little more. Girl,
Yeah, because I got something.
I thought I thought Mister was an active chubby. He's doing something else, and that's okay. It just explaining. So George says, I remember one time I bought from someone who lives in the Northeast. Shipping was more than the item cost. That's what I like about boxes. The shipping at the end of the month. I agree. Raise a hand. How many remember when eBay came online? Y'all, it's not something you have to go ask Siri or Google about. Just a hands up. I've missed you, Captain Mary.
So Moon put that she loves her triple moon wall hanging. It's now on the door of her studio. You were the person I thought of when we actually brought that into the house. I thought of you every time.
Every time. No, I know you give me consent to be able to send you pictures of items that I would think that you'd have interest in and email you. So, girl, sometimes I just like seeing you in chats. So I kept telling Mister, because he kept saying stuff, how many times. And I said, it's either staying here at the Grossbergen Emporium or it's going to Moon. That was awesome. That was awesome. And just FYI, y'all, if you know what I'm talking about, yeah, there's the Dallas Cowboys. So that double crescent moon, full moon, Dreamcatcher.
She says email her. She always loves her moons.
See, we are on Tuesday. I'll aim for towards the end of the week, girl. Just because we have to get caught up with things. What do I mean by that, y'all? Last night, I went into email to search for something and it threw me into drafts. I got 23 drafts. Check out how awesome this is, Randy. I hope you don't mind me saying this here. Yeah. Some things are just meant for certain people, and you know it. And you know it.
They are. It wasn't like we sourced it for that. It's just when we brought it in the house and we started working through everything, I pulled it out and I hung it up on the wall and I looked at Steph and I said, that's a moon thing there.
I'm going to bring this out just for a second. That was a specific person, not because we wanted it to be, but just right. And so I just happened nonchalant. I was in a chat. I seen the purchaser, and I did it in a time frame that was appropriate. Something was mentioned about banks, not for that particular sale. I mean, the question posed was for that, but it wasn't going to happen in that sale. I just mentioned something that I had shown one yesterday. I think it was yesterday, maybe. These are blended. That's all right. things will improve. Thank you for allowing me to feel safe both in my channel and our chat. But most importantly, thank you for allowing me to roll on faith in the last 24 or so hours and just be like, I ain't got a safety net no more. Hey, Craig, there you are. There you are. I was hot. I got a little loud earlier for a moment. It was when we first come on, so I might have said, I didn't mind. I did apologize in case you were listening. You know, we all come from different walks of life, and some of you guys are feistiest girls. If you know, you know. And
I got a
sometimes,
special place in my heart for some of these people, though. Like Randy is
y'all-
like my mom, but on like an amped up schedule. It's awesome.
he's saying that affectionately, y'all, not like he's got mama issues. I mean, so here's the fascination. Randy and Mr. Steph's mama were born in the same year. Mr. along with Randy's son were born in the same year. So we connect things, y'all. We see, y'all, if you look up Manhattan, Kansas, the Walmart, look and see what the number says on it for the store number.
No, she didn't get a 101 tattooed on her arm for a store number. It was my demolition derby number.
Where are they? I'm looking at them. Grab yours.
Everybody drink margaritas tonight?
Not on screen.
Oh, tried, Randy. I tried.
This is my favorite vintage margarita. Chantel. I don't know. I just made that up. But check this out, y'all. The difference is, much like business, Randy is her own individual. So is Mr.'s mom, right? They were born the same years. They had their babies in the same years. They have some more similarities, but that's for a story in a back room somewhere.
So, George, the back porch events, we don't usually sell anything unless you just see something in the background you can't live without. It's just a place for us to be able just to
chill and decompress and talk
just
about
kinda chat with
difficult
everybody.
things if we need to. Catch
You're
people
good,
up.
Jessica.
You're good, Jessica. If you need anything, just reach out, girl. But more importantly, remember to breathe. Okay. So yeah, y'all, anything over the last 10 days that you've seen as far as in chat is real. No matter where you've seen it. But most importantly, specifically for Jessica and her family, they are in need of prayer. They did have an essential bill. It is due no later than, I believe it's noon Pacific on Saturday. Y'all, I'm struggling with time zone. Okay. But it is due no later than Saturday. If I had the ability to have done it on my own and not brought it up, I would have. However, Jessica did reach out to me last week, y'all. Let me see if I have it on this phone. This is my personal one. It's my backup one in the event that we're mobile and selling at the same time.
Thank you, Moon. Yeah, it's just a place for everybody to kind of chill. We actually get,
You know,
talk and
sometimes
get to
we
know
really
everybody.
do get in depth about like addiction, recovery, and stuff, the things that can happen. Y'all, we're on YouTube. There's like 80 billion-ish channels. There's room for everybody. However, I just got stuck with there's room for everybody. There is, though. There is. everybody has value, and above this, y'all, I've been pretty
Hey,
certain, no matter where
Jason.
we're at, that if the World Wide Web goes down, undoubtedly YouTube is still going to be fossilized. So, you know, we'll be ancestors at some point in someone's life. They'll be able to come back and look. So,
Yeah, the cavemen had cave writings. We've got YouTube. I went there.
you went there. Hey, Jason. Woo, 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 woo. Craig, I might have emptied some boxes to make just a little bit more room. But thank you for it. Y'all, undoubtedly, a good percentage of y'all have seen me at some point, whether I was bouncing like I was earlier today, and so I might not have shown every item I would have shown if on any regular day. It would have been just a regular day. I had to be able to decompress just a little bit while I was live on a channel who values their members and the community members and says, hey, we're not going to get into anything, right? Y'all take care of you, y'all take care of you, and let's show the rest of the YouTube universe how we handle a slight difference of opinions. It's never easy to do that. I never like having to reach out to anybody and go, hey, here's a heads up. Why? Because YouTube's a learning process. The channels that say they have no rules, I can almost certainly, I mean, some of them probably just don't. I don't go to those areas of YouTube. But other channels, they most certainly typically have at least the common decency rules, y'all. And that's what we have here. You know, I was when I was born around noon. My mom always made sure. I know I was born on a Friday. I was born at noon, so she missed lunch. No, she it was just something she periodically brought up. But the point being is, I just lost my. No, give me a second. I didn't see anyone come in the yard. Just a minute. Oh, it's a neighbor. He's doing his best to recover. And what does that mean? That means overall health care and medical care. He's all right with me telling you all that. We'll have a back porch event someday, and we'll really discuss coming into 2026 in our journey thus far to the best that we can do while maintaining some decency. I want to show y'all something. I'm sorry, I'm kind of just a little bit over the place. It's my brain being dysregulated a little bit. My providers did remind me that it will all improve when my cortisol levels, etc., go down. There it is. So earlier today in the ladies auction, that's how I term them, y'all. But I have other channels that say that too, so I'll be specific. That was the members auction on Yarnigan, and thank you, Randy.
So I was out talking.
No, Randy's reminding me to pray.
The lady that got caught in the rain and hail yesterday that I hollered at.
Yeah.
She said she thought she could duck cover under the tree out here.
Tell her
I
our
said,
porch is
"Our porch,"
always
and
available.
her brother's lived in Ogden his entire life. He's the corner
Okay,
house.
just remember we
Yeah.
still are alive.
Said that he told her, he goes, you should have just went up on their porch and called me. He goes, I'd have just drove down and picked you up.
All right, so something interesting happened today, y'all. Between writing down the wrong link for his appointment today. I seen something remarkable before I came into active chat on Yarnigans. Crafty Witch 232 is in there. There's a few others. We're talking networking folks and crafty folks and just really amazing folks that, hey, guess what? They are who they are on and off the screen. That's not a tote. That's just to say, you know, good people. So, in between all of that, like the members auction, okay? So we're going to discuss kind of that because I typically don't really mix those in. Wish this vice would stop. It's improving. Just once in a while, right. It's my sternum that's filling up. So sorry, y'all. I don't know if I'll be able to keep that thought. I think I can, but I gotta breathe.
Well, I would say let's try to get out what thoughts you can. Let's get off so we can hit our little happy butts
What
towards
we need to do.
relaxing to get
Yeah.
our way to bed early tonight.
All right, so, there we are. All I had to do is look down. Yes, it was Crafty's fault this time, literally. Okay. So, and I had these in the background, okay. And Miss T with the T, she's another great channel, y'all. She sent me a giveaway. It was a members giveaway. I was one of, I think, 2, maybe 3 members that went on. She just did a pop-up. It's been a few weeks. Yeah, there's that.
The dragon.
But
Dragon's
then,
cool.
but then we got Tuber Chat this side. Those are crafty, not Tuber Chat. Okay. I won the mug and some tools for content creators on his 800th episode. And so, you know, when you have new people coming in and changes happen all at once, sometimes it can feel overwhelming. And overwhelming doesn't necessarily mean negative. It just, you gotta breathe for a minute, right? And so, well, you're in an auction, right? So what do you do when new people come in? Sign, hey, I need you to fill this out. It takes away from the auction. Just so happened the Crafty Witch 232 was in that auction today. The ladies went ahead and accepted her bid like they do everybody, and then mentioned something to the fact of filling out the job form or something or another. I mentioned to the ladies, hey, I got their info, I'll send it. And I actually have to do that for a couple people. So Mr. Right now got to send info from today's sale to the ladies. This channel is fantastic. I'm gonna cry, aren't I? I'm gonna focus on this for a second. Are you okay?
Oh, that is cool.
So, the importance is most people are familiar with this. Jason, I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to keep my thought. So I introduced Miss T like this. All right, not because I needed to with the ladies, but just, you know, keep things stable and calm. Why? Because we're all just aiming for the same thing, and things do get goofy, and it does get mixed up once in a while. And sometimes you realize, hey, you said yes when you should have said no, and you know, sometimes you have to turn around and say, hey, this isn't for me. But guess what? It doesn't have to be a teardown. It could be, I wish you well. I love you. And I truly mean that. If I've ever told someone like Randy, I'll take Jason and Andy just so people don't get that warped as far as Jason versus Randy. When I tell them we love them, I most certainly do. However, if I was to have a disagreement with them or Randy, this is how I work. If I say I'm done, I mean I'm done. And I quite literally,
I'm just done.
I'm just done. And with that, there's not an ounce of hate. You need to understand that. When I start putting walls up for anybody, on or off line, It is my healthy boundaries in place to keep us both in our own lane.
All right. Well, let's. So Jason sent a super chat, and then I gotta read what
Let's.
Randy put in.
All right. I'm doing this all backwards, y'all. Let me try to do this really quick. I still need to get more in a 5-second because that's just lacking. But that's all I had for that day, y'all. So, thank you. No, it's not gonna. Wait. Maybe I'm there. I'm hitting it in the wrong spot. Thank you, Jason. Give me a second. Get back in the chat.
So Randy says, rub your palms together fast to count of 10. Then bring close to the side of your head and don't touch. And feel the heat of your palms radiate into your temples.
All right, so y'all, please don't be offended by this. I mentioned how I learned. So no, do it from there.
Okay, so
all right, we can do it on screen. It's fine.
Rub your hands together 10 times fast so you get heat. And then put it up next to your head close without touching. You feel the heat going in. Just feel everything come down.
Dude, that was like yesterday when
Yeah, that was a cool trick. I
did the other trick.
I took a picture of that as I tried it. I said that was cool.
That's cool. Thank you, Randy. And so Jason did a super chat, y'all. Jason is Andy's. Yeah, it's still a little bit there. Is Crafty Witch 232's better half. I often wonder, y'all, because Mr. and I spent more than 3 hours with him for our first ever. Y'all, that 3 hours
Felt like an hour.
felt like maybe an hour. Felt. We just instantly felt, and it made sense. But they're just incredible people like you and I. You know, we come from different walks of life, but we don't sit on a high enough throne to judge anybody. So I promise you, if you ever think I'm being judgmental, drop me an email, and we can talk about it. If it's something that we just can't address, and I'll just politely tell you we can't address it. This channel is fantastic. You two always do an amazing job, and plus you're a safe and fun place to hang out for good times and great products, and wanted you two to know. Thank you, Jason. So once in a while, I don't have it very often, y'all, because I don't believe in reaching out to people when they're online. At least in a distractible way. Meaning when Crafty's taking a break because she needs to give her hands a moment. And so maybe she looks over and sees her phone and she does her giggle, if you know, you know. And it's just like great stuff. But then you don't see it in active chat, y'all. I have private chat in this form. Now, I don't bring that up lightly. That goes back to the military stuff earlier as far as becoming a military mom. For the most part, I do my best to pause. Not always. I'm not perfect. I'm not aiming for perfect. I'm aiming for progress. Dude, you don't have to be right here right now. All right, come here. Sorry, y'all. I'm dismissing her. And I almost have feelings too. And she's supposed to be my service dog, but she really needs to go through some training.
Yeah, she's just kind of still wild. Let's see. There we go. Part of it's the fact we've been gone most of the day. They're used to us sitting in the living room with them. And all right, Ellie.
Anyways, yeah. So I'll tell you what, this is what I do. When I want to cross my own boundary and behave as anything other than who both those that live with me and have grown to know me both on YouTube and off, I think about how that's going to impact them. I really do. I don't necessarily think about each and every person, but if we're tight in any way, I do. Hey, if I tell y'all that Randy burnt her meatloaf last night, somewhere between Randy burnt meatloaf last night and it getting back around to Randy, it's going to be something else. So the point of that is we have to prepare to be a few steps ahead or be ready to fill those spaces, those roles. Kind of like when we have to play asteroids, we may be having a fun moment, no issues, and then asteroids. We're not going to sit there and acknowledge whatever's going on. We're just going. You never burnt meatloaf? Randy, can I tell you when I was pregnant? This was before Firecracker.
Hamburger bowls.
I'm gonna let y'all hear our pregnancy that was due exactly 9 months after
Our
wedding day.
She got hungry one day, decided she'd go make meatballs, but it wasn't just any meatballs. She took the hamburger, crushed up Crispix cereal, mixed it in, which should work, and then she deep fried them.
It sounded
the
good.
Dog wouldn't even eat it. It was bad.
Moonstick.
Oh man.
So y'all, that was what? That was right after we got married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, duh. All right. So.
Yeah, burnt popcorn.
So we married in 2004. So August this year. Do the math. But aside from that, okay, I could not live fried hamburger balls down for the life of me. Even though the majority of our kids did not have a memory of those fried hamburger balls, except because he kept reminding them. Until Jess came back from the Southwest border mission. I can mention that because that mission is over.
Are you going to talk about your shepherd's pie that you messed up?
I was in a hurry. I was multitasking that day. I had many rolls.
She was taking all the ingredients and she put them in the ninja one at a time.
No. You can't say that all yet. What was I doing day in and day out? I was writing how many soldiers?
Oh, I don't know.
17 soldiers a day. They weren't just any soldiers. It was my son and 16 of his battle buddies. There had been over 30 of them, except it was COVID, so they broke it down into quarters. Very past tense, so I'm allowed to say that too.
See, I have a few failed dishes, but it doesn't happen very often. 9 times out of 10, everything you or I either one cook comes out.
So I went to essay. Y'all, no sponsorship. This is just Porch dot. Went to essay. And I had a custom ink stamp done because I'm thinking my hands. I have an autoimmune disease. We don't know the exact one yet. More in a year, and we still don't know. A lot of other people are still waiting, and they've been waiting for years.
I won't know for at least another 60 days if mine flared up in a different way.
But we're not going to discuss, right? Only because we need to talk to a few people. Y'all, it's not doom and gloom. It's just HIPAA. Okay?
Oh, man. That was some done chicken. Moon says one time she was admitted to the hospital by emergency and was cooking chicken in the crock pot. The pot stayed on for 3 days.
So,
although that's something.
So I got that step right, and it was the Gross family and our location. I religiously got in a way. I did it with Justice Group too. No, I was a helicopter pilot mama. I was one of at least 3 in both groups over that almost 2-year spread. that didn't just write to our soldier, we wrote to the soldiers in our
That didn't
children's
have
unit
anyone.
that had nobody. Didn't matter why, but had no one to write them.
Yes, you are family too, Andrew.
Andrew, you're the biggest pain in my rear, brother from another mother.
So Randy says she's had 2 failed cooking attempts her entire life. So she just put them both in.
And they both
Warning.
involve apples.
Warning, you cannot make potato pancakes from leftover mashed sweet taters. That's interesting because I would have tried that one.
Tell her why. Tell her why. Why would we have tried that? Because we have our family recipe of spud nuts.
Yep.
And
donuts.
we have because I've been wanting him to do spud nuts. However, y'all,
It takes,
I lost my health care June of last year, and I didn't get it back for almost 120 days, which means authorizations for stuff that were expensive were no longer authorized. I didn't re-up.
and Randy said, and applesauce makes a lousy filling for apple pie. And then Andrew says,
I can imagine that one because I like my apple pie chunky.
so Andrew thinks he's the best, the good looking one in the family. Sorry, bud.
I have a lot I could say, but I'm going to tell you what. You looked around here lately, you probably are. See, Prod's just hanging on there, kid. So we got to catch up. But just like that, you know, it is what it is. I totally drifted off everything. I don't know. It's all good. I'm just here to hang out and just be real. Y'all, a few of you, less than a handful, I'm just not going to name, reminded me in the last 48 hours of how you and I are connected, or how you and I remember each other. I've had a lot of aha moments on that. I've had, over the course, I'd say, of the last month or so, I had some, whoa, that happened? I'm not talking anything negative. I'm talking, you know, life starting to fall together. And then life just being like, hey, you gotta slow down, go a different way. Detour, right? We gotta adjust in real times, y'all, sometimes. So the most important thing is, kind of like today, paying attention and listening to what someone's saying and how they're saying it. Keeps things organized, for lack of a better word. A lot of you have said over the course of almost 2 years how much Mr. and I do in different ways for y'all, our communities here locally, Y'all, we've been misrepresented as angels from those we help at times. Honestly, it makes me feel uncomfortable, and most assuredly before I get that person handed off, I mean that respectfully, meaning you get them where they need to go, because I'm just a pit stop, meaning that temporary bridge. Just having moments of people, and then most certainly, just, you know, saying that, and us most certainly being, we aim for progress, not perfection, and we're flawed, and we don't say it because of any other reason other than we don't want anyone putting us on a pedestal we absolutely have zero desire to ever be on. There will come a time where I will have a disagreement with someone that I've said I love you to. People can misunderstand that, twist it, Misunderstandings happen, disagreements happen. How we respond to that is everything. doing it in real time when you weren't prepared for it is not always easy. And then in the course of the last 24 hours or so, I think most of you can come to that conclusion. Where's that in from the gross bargain emporium? It's simple. The gross bargain emporium is the gross bargain emporium. There's a Steph and there's a Mr.Steph, not anything else. Okay, there are times where we come on and we present the best versions of ourselves. And if that constitutes us being fake, I'm good with being labeled as a fake on that. Because I'll tell you what, when I bring an item and it's not a vision issue because of whatever, when I come on screen, I'm bringing the best version of myself, not because I'm anything less than that, but just because I'm having a hard day doesn't mean I want you to feel that too. So that's just who I am. I know, and I've known that a long time. Hear me out. I'm not part of the cool kids club. I was never part of their table. I was never given an opportunity at their table. Here's the thing. I always knew I could set up my own table alone. It's not fun. It's not easy. You're amazing, girl. You know, taking Crafty Witch 232. The fact that I have to private chat with her, y'all, none of that is done because we don't want you to see anything. Sometimes there's days where I'm having a flare up, not the same. Autoimmunes, there's a lot. There's actually over there's over thousands of them, but the particular one that they're looking for me has over 800 versions. So, you know, try and stay on topic. Sorry, y'all. Usually I'm able to hold on to that, and I might be able to. I'm not going to be able to pull that thought back. I'm just going to have to let it go. So, yeah. Y'all, I'm going to read you an insert to an email over the last 24 hours. Hear me out. This has nothing to do with business and everything to do with just needing to reach out. To someone to be like, I'm not okay, but it will be. And I need you to trust me, type of thing. So, with that said, I'm not going to mention identities, and I'm going to keep it short. Darn it, I just closed it out. Give me a second, y'all. Sorry, mister. I wasn't trying to get you to have to get up.
Just having some leg pain. Too much sitting in doctor's offices today.
You know, mister, I mentioned earlier that through our YouTube journey, that people have told us the impact we've had for them here and there. A lot of these folks don't know the impact they've had on us. How they've helped carry us through a rough week, even if we couldn't make groceries for a week.
So, December, I had a very rough month. I found out.
Be careful.
Yeah, I found out that, the job that I absolutely love doing was ending. Ended up having some mental health issues. And let me tell you, the welcome I got when I came back from the hospital to YouTube was unreal. Everybody, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Just just great. You guys are awesome. You know, I've always been kind of that loner person. You know, I have one or two actual close friends, and then everybody else is, oh hi, you know, nice to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. You know, in the store, and then go on your separate ways. So did you get in yet?
Yeah, I got in. I'm just having to find that insert because otherwise it'll identify that's not what we do here. But it was important because it kind of grounded me personally, y'all. It had nothing to do with gossip chains or anything like that. So just know that. All right, so I'm gonna read an insert. I inquired with somebody. I'm not gonna give any direction for age, other than I don't collab with them, and they are not a business. They're just like you and I. And I pulled a card my mama gave me a long time ago. When she told me if I ever had a moment where I just needed to reach out to somebody that felt like family. Now, a lot of you feel like family. Andrew's in chat. He has a brother from another mother, and y'all, I don't always like him. I don't always get along with him, but I always love him. And sometimes we do it from a distance. That kid, if I needed him right now, he wouldn't have me rush driving to South Central to get him. He'd find a way to get here because that's just who he is and how he was raised. You know, we was all raised differently and most certainly in different generations, y'all. You know, I was born in the 80s. When I was born, early 80s, most importantly. But when I was born, I made the 6th generation in that line. It was my dad's line. Within 5 years, it was down to 5. We maintained that 5. Not with the same people, but maintained it through my children. 5 generations. There's going to be a gap there. And it's okay. Because, you know, there was a lot that happened in the 1900s. The 1800s, you know, we're only 250 years as a nation. There is a Monopoly game, you know, for the 250 year up here in the Flint Hills. It's 1999, just FYI. I'm not selling anything. It's cool. It's cool. It's still on the shelf for me. But I will be looking for one on thrift stores shelves because it don't matter if the pieces are all there or not for me. But the point is we all have to we can choose to suffer in silence, or we can choose to go a different way. And for the last few years of my life, before you too, I've tried to focus on what's healthier. Don't always get it right, and sometimes I get it wrong. It just so happens that in the last year and a half of my life has been pretty public as far as that. I was told with my initial history on YouTube, yeah, that night that it happened, my phone blew up. But then my phone blew up 12, 13 times on a night similar to that, and I had a 3 a.m. pop-up. If y'all know, you know. No, I didn't enlist it. No, I did not put it on private. Why? Because no one can handle a mom that loses her stuff. Not on a regular, but when someone crosses that line, then they're not part for me. And that's just the way I've looked at it since. The point is on that is I had someone, I won't, it was through a device, but it was not cell phone, direct call type thing. And they're saying stuff. Mind you, y'all, this is my first 90 days on YouTube as a business. So Steph, you got to rebrand, you got to change your name, you got to do that, you got to do that now. And I'm like, wait a minute. Someone losing their crown, regardless of receipts. And I said, I'm not doing that. And this person said, Steph, you being transparent as you are, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're going to paint yourself into a corner where you can't get out. Y'all, I decided the night before I got sober, which was, that date was October 13th of 2014, of the things I would not tolerate when I got sober. And one of them was anyone, I would not be beholden to anyone, meaning no one would have anything over me that would make me behave in a way other than who I was, right? And for more than a decade, that's been true. And then over the course of the spring, I've had it reappear in my life publicly. So if y'all want to know what happened, I showed up for a show that I didn't sign up for. And I opted to take advantage of the fact that my internet, via Storm or Jammer, the Jammer's on the side of Post periodically, and to regroup and see what the heck was going on. Now, I made the decisions I made for me and my family and my business. Not because I hate. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy to hate anybody. I can dislike really much someone's behavior, especially when it's intentional. But here's the thing, y'all. If you suffer in silence, they win. Now, with that said, we don't go on and blast anybody. But sometimes you just got to know safe space to reach out and ask that person. So this is an insert. It's not in full context, but I think y'all ought to know how amazing y'all really can be. And not because you're choosing anybody but yourselves and staying in your own lane. So the context, the little paragraph here without the context is, Steph, you're a beautiful person. Now, mind you, this wasn't about business. This was personal. The stuff we're not talking about. Steph, you are a beautiful person, and there's peace to be found. And my prayer is that you reach that place of total peace. It took me many years to get there myself. I wish I could have found it as early as you. You don't have to be perfect. Just meet people where they are. And some of them you'll learn how to love from a distance. I hope this email brings you some sort of comfort, and know you may reach out anytime. So that's just the insert without the full context. That was any blaming game. Up above in that email it says, so it had nothing to do with that. Y'all, I am never going to be a part of tearing anybody down. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying my history on YouTube as a whole. If you ever hear Steph doing or saying something that's out of character, don't defend me. Instead, do me a solid. Grab your device, drop me an email, and leave it there. My journey on YouTube is full of receipts, good, bad, and indifferent. I'm not perfect. I miss, the aim a lot at times. But I'll tell you what, the intent has always been for us all to win. Now, there is a lot of great, great people out there, Some of them you won't see here. Why? Because we're respecting each other's healthy boundaries and not causing the chat to be anything but safe. Yeah, when there's multiple people collabing, like a members auction, my actions still impact that host channel and anyone collabing. I'm still learning, and I'm grateful to be blessed, not lucky, blessed to have individuals in this YouTube community, regardless of their niches, their roles, or responsibilities. I have no problem reaching out and saying, Steph, what the heck happened? Depending on who you are and be like, what the heck are you talking about? Not because I want to lie, but I need to know, I need to meet you where you're at. If I know I'm going to have to tell Mr. something that's going to stress him out, I'm going to have scenarios for a few steps ahead. That's who I am. That's my history on this earth. Okay? And I can plan for all worst case scenarios and still not be prepared when one shows up, right? Y'all, we're all amazing people in our own right. I've seen all of us in different areas of YouTube lifting others up, whether we talk to each other or not. In other channels, we talk to each other, and no one knows a darn thing on the fact of whether we like each other, whether we agree with each other, whether we lift each other up or not. If you all want to assume that's fake, I'm just saying in general, I'm not directing to anyone, please. Drop me an email. Because if I ever make you feel like I'm looking down on you, first and foremost, my intent was never that. If I was ever above you, my hand was extended. Y'all, it takes a lot of energy to hate, and it takes a lot of energy to go out of your way to create ripple effects for others unnecessarily. This is how I choose to do my energy. Because I don't have a whole lot of it. I have had 2 major flare-ups in the last 2 months. I've never had 2 in a row like that. They're periodically 3 to 4 months apart. All stress-induced. I've been asked multiple times by a lot of providers, overall healthcare and medical, why I stay on YouTube, why I don't go anywhere else. They know about Randy at Moonbelly Crafts. Andrew, they really do know about you because, well, you know.
Andrew knows them.
They know about Robin and why and Sid Trick plan to go to Mississippi if we can make it happen. Hopefully not the hottest day of the year. Love you, girl. And I'll come on the hottest day of the year if I have to. Moon's a great channel, y'all.
Moon's a great person.
Right? Moon. Oh, come on. Moon's a great person. Great energy. I was looking stuff out from her. It's a Victorian one. I need to show you that, Randy. But I think I might have moved it because I started grabbing stuff. And being like this been here too long, regardless if it's something that I should maybe wait to show this off. Hate is useless emotion to me. A waste of precious energy, absolutely. And then Robin says, play soon. What's Robin saying, play soon to?
Probably you, because you said coming down.
Oh, Robin, when I can afford the tools, we've broken 2. No, we've broken 3. Expensive
Socket
drivers. We can take pictures and so on. That's not the point of all this, y'all. We're just trying to do it, and we're trying to do it under our own accord,
Hey, Deborah.
right? Hey, Deborah. Back room, back porch, not a cell. So we just here hanging out. This is where, you know, we can bring up pretty much everything except bashing, tearing down, all the stuff we're not a part. And that's just how we roll. Y'all, I know it's not easy to see stuff day in and day out in the background. Cool thing is, no one's required to. But I appreciate the ones that come to the table with the same energy and the same drive. And go, hey, let's have a sell. Because really, that's why we're here. With that said, y'all, why are we on YouTube? Aside from selling? Mister, you got to say this right, because I was going to say that term, and I think I'm trying to say it backwards. Why are we on YouTube selling?
Because we kind of have to. It's that, or I got to go find me a full-time job.
No, it wasn't a full-time job. Because it's the only thing we can do legally with our clothes on. That doesn't revert back.
So Randy
to
says, forget the tolls. Come into Missouri and go down from this direction.
Randy, can I tell you the last time I avoided tolls to go to the East Coast? Of course, we're talking Mississippi, but still. Just as the day before Johnny came on YouTube. This is how, seriously, this is how I know Johnny's anniversary date. Because I know where I was on Johnny's anniversary date for YouTube. We were driving back a 25-hour round trip. No, it's 25. It was 27 out, 25 coming back. 27 going out. Why? Because in West Virginia, I got motion sick and it made me really sick. Brian was driving.
But you have to know Brian.
But you know, he's eccentric. He was eccentric, and he was my daddy's cousin. Anyways, so he goes, "Steph, it's okay to rest for a little bit. We're just in West Virginia. We're not going to be in Virginia for a little bit." And that's where we were going. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so I put my phone down. It's got the GPS on it, and I tell him, I'm like, just listen to the directions. She'll take you. What I didn't realize is I had Mr. take tolls off before we went on that trip. So somewhere 30 minutes into going in, I start drifting off. Don't know how long I was out. I was out long enough that when I felt the zhink, and I look up and there's evergreens. So I sit up, clearly going up a mountain. Clearly not the interstate.
Of course.
The only thing I asked him, I said, how long have we been off the interstate?
And in true Brian fashion, said just this way.
Oh, 30 minutes.
30 minutes or so.
And I'm like, okay, have you found a place to pull over? He goes, no.
There ain't no place to pull over. You have to go all the way to the top.
Y'all, there was no place to go. There's snow on the ground in certain areas of the mountain. So, question, how long does it take to go up Pikes Peak, Colorado? Don't know. Guess what? Because it's still on my bucket list and I was raised in Colorado. But
you've never been all the way up Pikes Peak?
Part of it, not all the way to the peak. They close
because the weather closures. Yeah.
The part that actually goes to summit was closed. Yeah. Anyway.
Been to the summit once.
So we will get to the summit at some point, God willing. But I always wondered how long it took to get up to the top of the mountain. 2 hours after we left the interstate, we get to the top of the mountain, West Virginia, very important. I don't remember the town. It didn't look like much of a town, and I mean this respectfully. They had a country store that looked like Walton's Mountain. We weren't at Walton's Mountain. But I think we're close enough. We could have, if I hadn't been on mission to be at my kid's graduation from AIT. So We get back down. So it's 2 hours up, 2 hours down, all that good stuff. We're coming back.
True story.
25 hours straight. We only stopped for gas. When we stopped for gas, that was potty breaks and one time to eat. No, 2 times to eat.
So,
'Cause we stopped twice in Missouri.
Randy's got a professional tip here.
Yep.
Says tip. Hit the potty before going up the mountain because there won't be another one till you hit the bottom on the other
Oh,
side.
I didn't know that. Randy. You know what,
And
girl?
that right there is why I
Hey,
love
grab
it.
me this. Girl, check this out. When we meet up, just about 4 hours. I'm bringing these back. I call dibs on this one. We're going to have margaritas, girl, or whatever. But we're going to drink responsibly, y'all. Anyhow, I know this. Randy, how do you know this? Y'all, it's story time. You're welcome.
Oh. I tripped my doctor out today because she asked about alcohol use. And I said, well, my wife and I had a margarita the other night. And I said, I think the last time I drank before that was 9 months before that. And I had a beer for her birthday. She looked at me and she goes, you don't drink, in other words. And I was like, but I do twice a year this year.
Yeah, my provider, the margarita I had for my birthday at O'Malley's doesn't count
Okay.
because that was one time out of a full 12 calendar month a year. It don't count.
So, Timmy, the answer to Wolf Creek Pass. Yeah, that explains it right there, Randy. You don't have to go any further than that.
Girl, that's all you have. 3 words. And yes, y'all, if you know, you know.
So, Timmy, sometime look up on YouTube Pikes Peak Hill Climb Race.
I have someone I grew up with.
Watch that stuff. That'll blow your mind.
They still race that every year.
They average 1 to 2 deaths a year on that
Nathan,
because they jump off the sides.
but Nathan,
Yeah.
from my childhood,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are cool. I've gotten up there one time and gotten to see a little bits and pieces, but not actually get to sit and watch it.
Y'all, I tell you what, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous enough about doing a back porch event, and then I announced during the ladies that we were gonna do one, because most certainly Mr. and I had made that decision last night, that we'd be doing one today, because we're overdue for one. Y'all, if you're connected with Don and Teresa, that's Don Southern Pines and Yarnigan, go back and catch when I was on right there at the end. It was 30 minutes. I had some extra minutes, so it just goes over a little bit for me. It was no favoritism, no nothing. Look at it in chat, y'all. They were trying to, Don wasn't able to, as y'all know, she had surgery. So she isn't able to hold this much weight right now. And that's just legit. Okay. With that, she's not incapable. She's a very capable woman and she has taught me a lot. I was actually nervous about going on nurse today, and I've never been nervous ever in 18, 19 months that I've been selling with them. But I was today. And then we lurked 20 or so minutes before we went on, meaning into active chat. We don't lurk, y'all, because
It's hard to jump in active
it's hard to
sometimes.
jump into active
Because
chat.
then everyone
for me.
says hi to you and you
That
feel
box
bad.
right there. Give me it.
That's-
We're gonna do.
It's not any good.
It isn't? For real? That's cheap. All right. Well, maybe we could pose this question to crafty people because we've got a few of them in here. I'm serious. Because if I just need to toss it, then I'll just toss it.
Right.
I'll keep the box because I can use it. Y'all, this is epoxy resin, not selling, not selling. Okay. Epoxy resin. This is the box that I sourced it in. But this is what were you seeing?
It's got like, it was like crinkly. Like you could hear it.
Oh,
Like it's
no,
dry on the
stop,
outside.
stop. You can see it right there. So it's clear down here, but right in here, you see it where it's crystallizing? Is that normal for one? Is that because it's old? That's important because I do have more. Not this particular set. This is something I sourced here in the Flint Hills. I was surprised. And I thought I'd get crafty because it's all a lot of crafty crap. Because I just don't have space or time to do it right now. And I just don't want stuff sitting around and, ending up in a landfill because I just get tired of looking
Yeah,
at
it's
it.
set for a while. Is it any good? That's going to be my
Is
next question.
can it be used for anything? Or is it just a landfill item? And would this help anybody?
It will still work. So
Okay, I've never done resin. I want to. I keep,
we've
getting
got our table
bits
that I
and
want to build the
pieces.
top for.
but then, then life happens and I'm like, hey, I've got one thing that people will buy and that's gross. I'm not going to lie, I'm being honest. I may not be able to sell jewelry, and if I pop that off and didn't tell you it was paparazzi and it was the right person somewhere in some channel, they might pay $5 or $6 for that. Paparazzi jewelry did go up, y'all. Instead of the $5 stuff, not this. This was from the old stock. But I only see this because I knew someone I grew up with this was a distributor, and she informed me that I needed to stop bringing the stuff for $3 because they're not selling it for less than $8.
So
But
Crafty says it starts yellowing, but you can also add color. So it's still good.
So this one definitely is yellow, but not too yellowed. Hey, first person in chat that's interested in resin, these particular resin, y'all, this probably weighs a pound and this probably weighs a pound. Meaning I would put them in a box for you. They'll go in your next ship, but you're going to pay the shipping weight for them.
Randy wants to know if her portion of the show with the ladies was a comedy show or what. Randy is in.
Randy, my face don't lie. Do you want the answer?
That was a fun show. Watching Randy work
Dude,
that.
you would have thought we were watching the football game on Thanksgiving, this last Thanksgiving. You thought? Dude, we were rooting. Girl, you were spot on. And you were your authentic self. And girl, you showed me how classy it is to be just throwing off your game a little, meaning the week isn't going the way we anticipated it would. But hey, wait a minute. You know what? We're going to adjust and overcome, and we're going to show people how we do it in real time. Why? Because we don't have any other choice other than to take a break from YouTube, and we ain't got time for that. Oh, so, yeah. If anyone wants the resin, y'all,
Put in resin.
put in resin,
All you're paying shipping on it.
but you're paying shipping on it. And I didn't weigh them, but I'm just, well, that one says 270 milliliters, 315 grams. So
600 grams.
$5, Randy. She was just wanting to sell during the back door on the back porch. You got it, $5, girl. But you stuck it out like a boss.
She did. She
did.
did awesome.
She did, and y'all, I'm not gonna lie. It was almost like a Manic Monday of sorts. I think most people understand for the most part when we mention anything as far as health and all that. You know, we want to be as transparent as we can, but we want to maintain dignity for everybody. So, you know, we do what we can. And that's why I said if you're connected with Donna and Teresa, go back to my show. You don't have to look at the items for real, but go back towards the end. It's when I stopped showing. I think it was these.
Mhm.
I literally had sat them down and I just had a moment because I needed to kind of ground myself a little, but I couldn't. Honestly, I couldn't. It just felt like I was going on an elevator of euphoria, and I don't like those rides. I do have a mood disorder that's part of my childhood. It wasn't genetically given to me. And, you know, we adapt and overcome. And we've been reminded both on YouTube and off YouTube of how far we've come. Y'all, when we sat at Chili's in Colorado Springs, Colorado this January, it wasn't just any ordinary day. I mean, in most aspects it was. See, Crafty's saying she's taking tonight off. Too many issues tonight. Right? It's not like you're just doing it because whatever, just you're listening and taking self-care, self-love. There's nothing wrong with that. Neither of those fall under selfishness. It falls under selflessness because if you're not pouring into yourself, how do you have the energy to pour into anyone else? Randy, I definitely have felt that way with a few things over the last we'll go with 8 days. I actually earlier today I didn't intend to rewatch part of a Salazar in the last 8 or 9 days. But there was a particular moment and I remembered it because I can understand why I was experiencing some distress. I think I carried it well, but definitely anyone who knows me would have been able to pick up on it. But I ended up going back in unintentionally, and it was in that moment. So it must have been where I was on my device and I just closed out of that live because it'll take you back to where you left off. And so I'm prepared. I was in that moment, but I was able to see it third person, and I'm like, wow, things can go south really quick and unintentionally. Sometimes we just have to trust each other and adjust accordingly. Last night, between the Kansas-Colorado line and Wallington, Missouri, between us and Randy, there was severe weather. A lot of people we cared about had wet clothes and wet bedding today, but they survived. And that's just what we do. It's
not just survive. These guys are sleeping in the areas that cars were floating down the streets.
There's that.
You know, I was a little concerned about our group of people. I was all happy to go to the common table.
Yeah, our client from earlier today, if he wouldn't have been observant, you know, it just would have been sticky stuff. So, you know, yeah, we have to adjust and all that all the time through life. And we don't always have to announce it. Thankfully, most of the time we don't have to. Sometimes we have to get caught up and be like, hey, we've been carrying this weight for a long time, and hey, this is what's been going on. Not for pity, not for sympathy, but just a matter of fact, this is where I'm at, so you know where I'm at. Reminding us where we come, where, you know, that we're better off than where we came from. And if we're not, progress over perfection. And, everyone's progress is different. I'll tell y'all what. Don't tell Randy this. I gotta turn around so I can say it, okay? Don't tell Randy this. But when I get in the back room and I get there just slightly earlier than her, my intent for the day absolutely is to make sales because this is our income and it helps, take care of us. Keeps the lights on, literally. However, my first thing is to do to the best of my ability, make sure she has a good time. Sales are only part of it, and sometimes sales are slow through the whole sale. Then we do a speed round or whatever there at the end.
And you'll gain a bunch of sales.
And hey, take Crafty, for instance, using just people I know. That say something backwards. It's just an email. And now stick on the email. It's going to get better, y'all. And I'll tell you what, it's not easy being this vulnerable. Not that I haven't been more vulnerable on YouTube. Not by choice, but just saying. Y'all doing what you do each and every day, kind of like today. Not listening. Kind of like today, I told Mister, I said, what's the lineup again? And FYI, he didn't have that email had all the lineup, but he did know where everyone's place was. I said, this is how we're going to roll. Why? Because we didn't have time to be running. You're a horrible liar. A horrible liar? What? A jewelry girl? Sometimes I don't know what I'm showing either. That don't make you a liar. I don't do tick for tat. Meaning if you screw up, even if it's big, best thing you can do is just own it. Because if you come to the table, it's not because I do tick for tat, but most importantly, if you're close enough that you matter to me, if you come to me and you're like, Steph, what the heck happened? Talking figuratively, right? I don't want to be like, oh, I don't know. I'd be like, I might ask you to reward it. Because importantly, something Steph knows is that some people are just generally asking an innocent question. They don't need all the information. They just need to know how to get to loves. I gotta let the boss in. I know. We're coming home. Y'all, she ever walks around like Garfield. But here's the point about that back room event and another tent is I know no matter if I sell this and everything in my pile or I sell nothing, at the end of the evening, when we're closed out and we're in the back room for a moment or two together, she isn't going to be like, hey, Steph.
That's cool.
What happened? She's going to be like, hey, Steph. This is me putting words, okay? Steph. That's got 2 sunflowers on it. Bring that baby at $5. Put something in it. That's a little. And see what people think. That's the Randy I know, y'all. And she's cool. And I think
from Crafty. That's what she just got that way.
Oh, that she had shared that.
Yeah, she sent it to text.
Dude, that's cool. You want me to? Do you want me to show it?
Grab your phone.
I
It'll
will.
probably show better.
Well, I've got to turn the.
I got to go through and buy it back on the charger.
I will tell. Do you want me to tell you what you want? Do you want me to answer that live? Or do you want me to text it? And I need to take my brightness down because that's how it bleeds it out. Yeah, my screen shattered. It's okay. It still functions slightly as it should. But that's what she's working on right now, y'all. So, the question posed is, what do you think? She needs spikes and daggers. That's what I think. She's too cute. We need daggers with her. Maybe a brick and a way to heat it. That's my. I know.
Crafty says I have spikes.
Y'all, here's what the intent is: whether or not we stay monetized. What do I mean by that? Even though I am qualified for monetization, and yes, I am monetized right now, I have the option each and every time to shut it off. So,
and
for
knives and chainsaws.
I gotta pull back for a minute. What time of night are we at? It is not 8 o'clock in Cali. Y'all look at this cool thing. I can't tell you. It's DAM. This is his name. He's got some other like lettering, but he's old. Y'all, he ain't got no clothes on.
See, I don't have a chainsaw anymore. Mine got stolen out of our storage unit.
Facts. What did we
We've
figure
only
out
been
with
fired
the
up
police department?
once.
The police department was $2,300. Yeah, Firecrackers Christmas that year was in there. Yeah, it's when we went to the East Coast and went up through New York and all that. When we got back, one of our neighbors in combat boots, they had toddlers at the time, and one of them was fascinated with putting metal in the microwave.
Metal? You need phones.
Oh yeah, our kids, it was metal. The toddler over there grabbed his teenage sister's cell phone. And when I mean cell phone, the device didn't have service. It could just connect to Wi-Fi. Put it in the microwave and he hit on. And this happened a couple of times with other things. No, he wasn't unsupervised. He's just a very energetic toddler. So she's like, Steph, does anyone, in our originator? And so I asked her what was going on because her husband loves his microwave. And so she told me the safety concerns. They live on post, for one, and two, fire. So I was like, girl, I'll tell you what, I'll put it in storage, and when he is out of putting things in and pushing buttons, or your husband would like his microwave back, just let me know. So she hit us up when we got back from that East Coast trip. And I was like, not a problem. So give me a day or two to get unpacked. And she did. So we went over on September 11th, 2024. And we noticed a couple little things odd outside, but I just tried to wipe it off. And Mister's like, no, because we're very methodical. And I'm looking at the lock. It's a Pacific lock that technically cannot be picked. So you most certainly have to actually have the right key for it. It's that particular type of lock. I told him, I said, Bree, dude, we're the first place off with close to these. And sometimes, things can be crazy. And he opens it up. And I'd say a fifth of the unit had been removed. And so we did all the legal things to do. And they're like, well, if they could have come up over the rafts from the other unit. There was large enough items, even if you disassembled them, you still, yeah. Firecrackers big screen, my dad's big screen TV that he watched while he was on his deathbed. Firecrackers mountain bike that had been gifted from our community to her for Christmas. For our first Christmas up here was stolen, and it was a mess. So just life has a way of throwing some hurdles. How you respond to them is up to you. And some of us we're learning this in our 40s. Some of us in our 50s. Some of us in our 60s. Yeah, I hear the 70s call in respectfully. I just want us all to get to our destination. That's it. How we get there, I don't care. Years ago, and I say that respectfully, y'all, because years ago, I accepted the fact that we were all going to get to our destinations right separately. How we got there and what we looked like at then really was up to us. When I'm done with this body, when this life's over, I hope they look at it and it's like, holy moly, she wore that out. They're going to be able to tell that with my feet, just saying. And Crafty says I should say my knives and chainsaws are for my crochet. Well, girl, that's just like when I tell people, hey, go over Crafty's, y'all, listen to the context. It's going to sound for a moment. We're going to take a birthday recently and be like, I texted a couple people and said, hey, do me a solid. If you got a couple minutes, could you go by and hit the thumbs up? Go and say happy birthday. I don't know who all did, who didn't, type of thing. It was just some military sisters of mine. And I assume they did. But one of them I texted and I said, hey, you got to go to Crafty's. What's up? It's your birthday. All right, I'll be there in a little bit. It's like, no. You got to go right now. Why? Crafty is giving away hookers. Y'all, one of Crafty's giveaways, I think it might have possibly been 2. Not sure. Lots happened in the last few days. 2 random skeins of yarn. And a package of hooks. Now, anyone outside of the crafting needle industry would be, she said what on YouTube? Yes, y'all, I just said craft.
Well,
y'all,
so long ago they just had the hooker show over on 80s.
Yeah, y'all missed the best birthday ever in 2026 here on YouTube. That was Crafty Witch 232. You can't miss the thumbnail. However, if you did miss that live and you'd like to go back and watch Crafty gift away hookers and 2 rolls of random skein yarn, have fun. Hit the thumbs up. Tell her Steph sent me.
Did you see what Randy put?
But look at it this way, Steph. We are forever and literally.
Yep.
Exactly. I think she was. Yeah, I think she was in our chat today, meeting here. But y'all, we were over at the ladies too, and I'm pretty sure it's me. Angie was there. Then, and she's been here at least once this evening. So here's the thing. It's me, Angie. Periodically, matter of factly, allows people to know why she does the content she does on her YouTube, both for her neighborhoods and ours. And she has fun doing that. But her YouTube is because it's going to be immortalized. So her children, yes, they're adults and they have their own families, but they also have children. And those children one day will have their own children. Guess what? They're predicting that YouTube will be around long enough for all us youngers, along with the more seasoned group, respectfully. It just sounds better than just saying old. Old is being dismissive. Saying spicy or classy or anything sounds sexier than old, in my opinion. Now I'm stuck on sexy in my head. So my brain works sometimes. Yeah. Had someone that I've been working with for half of my sobriety asked me yesterday, Steph, why do you have the beliefs you do about yourself? Remember that email earlier where I mentioned the Steph part, all that? I have some disadvantages not everybody has. But I have those disadvantages aren't anything no one else has ever faced in this world. I was blessed. So if you remember the numbers from last night, I was 37 when my mama passed away. I was 31 years and 8 days old when my dad took his last breath. Now, the importance of that is there's a lot for my childhood that pivoted to being unresolved until 2023 when it just wide open. In the last several weeks, I questioned my own judgment. I've chosen not to listen to my intuition, not aiming direction wise anywhere, y'all. I'm not just in general. We don't always get it right. We hope we do. And we hope if we get it wrong, that it's like when you go and camp at BLM property, that is Bureau of Land Management. You have to pack you're expected that anything you pack in that you pack out as well. That you don't leave a footprint. My hope for my immortalized YouTube, honestly, is that my channel helps somebody and that my channel is never apart, intentionally or not, on anything less than that. Y'all, I promise somewhere in 2026 I'm going to have to own something other than Mr. Goofing out a package, y'all. And
You know, the whole time we've been in business, that's twice that's happened.
And it was over a year apart. But we understand how it happened, and we understood what we needed to do to prevent it from happening again. Not everybody that receives a package that's not theirs is forthcoming. Not every package that gets delivered to the wrong address is returned to the post office. Sometimes,
and it's legal.
And it's legal. It actually is. There is a loophole. I will not discuss it here because I don't want to help pirate thieves. We could come in as a hot mess. I promise you, other than joking about it here or there. If I come in as anything other than my best self, I came in with everything I had to keep things, today. If people didn't realize Steph can accelerate some mania in a moment, yeah, it can happen. Typically, we manage it very well.
You're down now. It's not like you're up. Trust me, you wouldn't want to see her if she kept climbing. By now, we would be dancing in the yard half naked, waiting for the cops to show up.
Why would you say that? That's nuts.
It was meant to be a joke.
Oh, you're saying that as a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because once your mania goes way up, you just
when that goes out, and it doesn't happen often, that's what a lot of therapy and a lot of years of putting the work in. Still have to put in the work every day, and I have to pray along the way that if there is a misunderstanding because Steph put the wrong word somewhere, that hey, we can circle back around and be adults about it. That's just a general life everywhere, y'all. Not here on YouTube. My biggest platform that I get in trouble on for understandings is Facebook, and that was with my own kin. Do you remember that? It was my dad's sister. I'm going, you're gonna ostracize me because of a word being mispronounced on a Facebook post? Okay. Yeah, I guess the specials in our family too.
I think every family has some specials.
But yeah, you know, I just expect that. I expect this. I learned this from Grandma. We can go live with her the next time we're able to be there, and we could have conversations. We had already planned that 2026 that Grandma and I would have talks. She was born in the 30s. She remembers all of 1940s. So much so that she had me bring this home. It's not for sale. She says I could sell it or I could keep it, but I know the story with it. It's tied to multiple generations, which is why it's not seeable. This is a candle. Everything you see is wax. She remembers this sitting in 1942 for her birthday. It was a centerpiece. It was a candle. Some of y'all will be able to recognize this pattern. I remember them being ingrained and stuff. This is actually clear. All that color is wax. Right here, my ancestors touched her great grandmother. How cool is that? Not everyone can say that. Y'all, thank you for staying solid. What do I mean by that? I mean just staying in your own lane and not changing because environments are anything but what they usually should be. You know, over the course of this weekend, coming into this week, I looked at Mr. and I said, listen, we have scraped, we have done right? To get where we're at. We're not going to stop being who we are. I can't stop anybody anywhere. YouTube, Facebook, family from misunderstanding me, especially the difficult ones. That's what they're looking for is a reason to be disappointed. Those people, I love them. I do. But I love them from a distance. So that's how this week is pretty much worked out so far. Y'all, that Heine. Nicky. How cool is that? He is so cool. He is vintage, but I think he's more than like 90s vintage. He's got some more deep. Dude, I swear there's a number on that. I can't make it out. It's up there. There's a lot of writing. I know you do. Only because the life's right. Well, maybe not. We did spend 3 hours at Chili's together. Y'all, that was on Mr.'s 10-year sobriety date. We did not plan it that way. Girl, this is one of. Wait, let me see if I can find another one. I had them throughout my background in the old sales area.
They're put up in boxes.
The one I got from Mike?
Yeah.
The Mad Max one?
Yeah, it's in a box.
Dude, wouldn't you?
Because you have me clearing stuff out of your background that one time.
But I didn't have my trolls. You know, I told him, let's get this stuff out. I need it out. I need it out. Because Steph, what we can do with that? I said, it can fit in the broken down vehicle, or if it won't fit in the shed, it can go on the curb and we'll just do a curb alert. So I have somewhere between 8 and 12 of them. And yes, I know you do. I know you do. And that's the thing, y'all. See, we get to know each other here, there, and everywhere. It can be a slow process, or it can be, over several weeks. Some of us know what.
Randy said she got her first troll in 1960.
That's incredible. Do you still have it, Randy? But yeah, if y'all see me in an active auction and I'm not bidding on these,
Means we're extremely broke.
or having to be responsible, or just having to be responsible because we've been jumping over, well, since Mr.'s been out of work, between broke, figuring it out, no, we're broke, to
Randy
No.
says, SOB, no.
Randy, I ain't got mine either, but I do have my original teddy bear. That is show on another platform. It has me 34 years old. No, I wasn't 4. It was before I was 3, and it was with my mom. That teddy bear I actually still have. Did we figure out? Is it here in the Flint House? No, we did figure out it's over there, huh?
Yep, it's down on the other storage unit.
You know what? We got Crafty in here and a crafty person, meaning Randy. Let me see it. I can grab my baby. Yeah, my baby is here. I want to ask them about that. Yeah, there's not any. Hey y'all, how many of y'all are at least 40? At least 40 and still have your original baby blanket. So, important context here. My toddler years were spent in
Jason does, Crafty says.
East Texas. Decembers that we know around here are little, even in Colorado. The ones in Texas are at least that darn big. No, I'm not making it up. Here's what it looks like to have a toddler drag like Holly Hobby-ish, their blanket. Now, Mr. got to meet the person responsible for making this for me once before she passed. She got to meet all my children. So this is the back. No, this is not for sale, y'all. And I don't want to repair it because this baby's got a story. This is one of 2 or 3 items I have from before the summer of 1986. So that's the condition. I folded it in half so I can show y'all. What would y'all do with this to be able to display it? Someone said that the quilting racks or whatever. Said something about maybe putting it on that. I don't want to just. I can't tell you whose dress that was, or that one, or that one, or whose blouse that was. I just know that my baby blanket of many colors has followed me from the state of Texas the rest of my life. So it's cool. Okay, a piece of vinyl. Wall hanging hat. Okay, thank you, ladies, because it's old and it's obviously got a lot of use. But I wanted to maintain its story. It's the one thing that was mine that no one left in Texas. So it's just incredible. And I still have it even after a 5.5-year addiction. So thank y'all, ladies. I store it in one of those dog food like totes right now because it's they're like stools. So. That way, no matter where it's at, hopefully, it's at a tote when we moved back from Colorado. It's the biggest one. It had the kids' baby books, all that in it. Wasn't a crack in that tote, but when we went to move, there was water in that tote. We lost everything. So, well, we lost everything except Jess's baby book, but technically it should have been tossed because it was water damaged. So, you adapt and you overcome, and you realize along the way the Crafty Witch 232, Tammy, Randy, Deborah, Lena, Jason. Y'all, he's a cool cat. I'm telling you. He is cool as anything. That guy can ask for a guy with a bigger heart. I thought he'd hear me. He didn't. No, my guy and her guys just incredibly great guys, and they just want to see us succeed and keep us, coming back. Y'all, Crafty did say she has taken the night off. I don't know who's all going to be on this evening, but it is right here at 10 o'clock Central. And y'all, I did not sleep last night. Part of it was weather related. When these storms, these particular tight knit storms come through in the dark hours, in the early hours, it's not easy to sleep. So I definitely should sleep better tonight and all that good stuff. Let's see, where are we at? Y'all, tomorrow. I know today wasn't a sell as far as here, but tomorrow is Wednesday. Holy moly, we're on Tuesday, and I finally can acknowledge tomorrow is Wednesday. Y'all, for a few days, I kept thinking Wednesday was tomorrow, and now Wednesday really is tomorrow. So 6 p.m. Central, it'll be mid-market with Steph and Randy, or Randy and Steph, y'all. It's one or the other. That is our midweek market sale. Y'all, I really recommend that y'all come. So I'm going to tell you something. Randy, pretty much each and every time we get off, she'll ask for input. Why? Because she's still getting to know y'all. Y'all are still getting to know her. Now, one thing Randy does really well when she is given the opportunity to prepare is to bring the goods. To bring, her best self and all of that. And then some. And y'all, for everybody that supported her, whether it was a thumbs up, the positivity in there, the giggles, because OMG, I was like, thank goodness we are not in the back room. I'm like, because they had to muted us because we was giggling with her humor. We really was. We needed it, and I think our communities needed it. I know Ellen was on earlier. Ellen and I are still getting to know each other. She's in Emporium. I'm in Emporium. Denise is magical. Emporium, yes, most certainly. That's exactly how I met Miss Denise. Met her. It was either two guys or Johnny's. And she introduced herself with, "Hey, Steph, is your Emporium magical?" And I was like, what? It's the first time I'd ever been questioned about my name on YouTube. And so I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I've seen her in a few auctions, but I haven't. It's been where there's multiple people, so I don't really get engaged with who she is. And then I'm like, of course my Emporium's magical. And what do I mean by that? Yo, in this description of the show, did anyone see the description of the show? Now all of y'all be looking. the description of the show, YouTube, not YouTube, StreamYard's been a pain on, it's removing my description stuff. So I gotta go on and figure that out. So just FYI, but hopefully it'll help. I put a number in 3 consecutive times. Some people know them as Roman numerals of some sort. Others know them as angel numbers. Here's the thing. Here's the difference between what I put in the description of this show versus anything else. I put the number 4 3 times and spell out at least once. Why? Because I need to grab some attention. Because what does it mean to me? Well, it means 3 consecutive numbers, and I actually do work in 3s. But that can go to 6s, 9s. Yeah, I get crazy like that too. So don't try to keep up. But anyway, you know, and are you done? Well, she was over there doing something and it distracted me. Now she's giving me that look. No, I knew she was coming back over here. Get over here. It's okay. I can't lift her up here to y'all. She's gained a little bit of weight back because the weather, the way it was, and just us facing a lot of things we weren't bringing to YouTube. By the end of the day, honestly, we didn't have energy to walk our dogs the way they needed to. So she's gained, I'd say, at least 20, maybe 30 pounds of unhealthy weight back. And yes, y'all, you've been asking yourselves, I'm filling out a little too. No, I'm not overeating. No, I've not added sugar back to my regular diet. However, the last time I was at the farm, no, I'm going to own it. The last time I was at the farm, I think grandma just being grandma, because it wasn't something she does very often or anything, except like holidays, stuff, special occasions. Every dessert she made was loaded with sugar. No, I'm not complaining. It just, my grandma makes amazing stuff. So I'm like, really? I look at Mr. I'm like, really? This is our accountability? I can't have one? Not quite like that, but just giving some dramatics. And he goes, Steph, you could have one. But then you're not sugar free. You gotta go another 24 hours. Then you gotta go through that detox. I'm like, dude, maybe it's worth it, right? And he gives me this out, y'all. He gave me like 3 separate times. Are you sure you want to break sugar free type of talk? Last time he goes, Steph, you're allowed to lapse on your sugar intake. He goes, but once. What does he mean by that is, hey, if you're craving sugar and you just really need to be satisfied with it, do it. Just be responsible. So I did. I ate 6 over 2 days. And then I spent the week up here sick because I was withdrawing. It was terrible. It was delicious. The after effects were terrible. I think that's where I'm going to end this evening, because I can't get circled back around to the point. But I think everybody knows me enough, or knows me enough to know what direction I was going. So tomorrow, 6 p.m., Randy will be with us. Friday, y'all. I need to put this out there, and I will get it on the community page tomorrow, y'all. I do not have the time or energy being away from the house as much as we were today with appointments to be able to get it posted on my community page. However, Friday, Wonder Woman will be with us at 6 p.m. Eastern, not Eastern, Central. Y'all may have to adjust these times just a little, be a warning, okay? If you know, so if I adjust it like I had to adjust today, not a big deal. It doesn't mean doom and gloom. It just means we're having to adjust in real time. What else? Oh, Jessica. My mind was somewhere else. Jessica wasn't on my mind. So during that sale, y'all, this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna use Crafty for, she's active right now. Say I bring this item and I'm specific on this particular item I'm going to sell on that auction. And that the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, meaning the payment's going to be sent to her, minus shipping. Why? Y'all get the first dibs on this of hearing it. No, I've not lost my mind. There's going to be selected items that we bring Friday that will benefit Jessica and her family on an essential bill that cannot wait till next week. If we could wait till next week, there would have been no reason to bring it up at all. But I'm not in a position to wait a week and leave their shit. So if Crafty was in on this, right, I'm going to ask her, I'm going to let her know immediately, hey, this round I'm doing stuff for Jessica. Y'all, this is what I'm going to have to do because Jessica needs to reach her goal before midnight because she does have a scheduled appointment to have that money paid. If you want further details, drop me an email and I will use my best discretion with what I'm allowed to share. There's nothing other than this essential bill. And it's $70. It's less than 80. And when I say less, I don't mean, hey, it's just $5. Come on, just $5. No, I mean, maybe we have 70 friends between all of us that have $1 that could send her $1 right through to her PayPal. The only thing I'm going to ask her to do is to confirm, like if Crafty was to be in on this, is that that Crafty followed that link and sent if it was $5, right? And then this is going in Crafty's box. It ships from me to her. Hopefully that makes sense. My intent is to have that all organized by Friday, y'all. If I trip up a little bit here and there, if there's any questions, if we have to slow down when it comes to showing Jessica's items, we absolutely will. Okay. This was not easy for her, and it absolutely was not easy for me because I'm one that usually can find a way. I don't have the energy to reach out to people locally and be like, here's the situation. Yes, they are in California. So thank you, Randy. And that's the other thing, y'all. This whole thing, from pretty much the beginning of us doing business on YouTube, occasionally we do sell for folks. Typically it's their stuff, meaning any of it's that we do for neighbors in combat vets that is military, active military, no identities. Okay, you have to follow OPSEC. With that, there is a way between certain people, meaning it's not the public, but ethical channels that can that are authorized to be able to see anything that is in OPSEC in that way, to be able to see that there's no shady nothing going on. Y'all, I want to tell y'all, I wasn't really nervous about asking Jessica to trust. Because I knew immediately y'all was just going to be who you needed to be for her. Not for me, not for, but just who you are. And I want to thank you for that because she's been dealing with stuff a great deal privately, and she's asked for her privacy in that, meaning when she's ready and comfortable, she will share as she can. As far as her health, her husband's health, and so forth. So please, y'all, keep her in prayer. It's not always doom and gloom, but sometimes, you know, you lose track of, kind of like Mr. and him having that heart attack. You know, sometimes you can't plan for everything, but sometimes it's your response and the person's standing next to you. And you're like, oh yeah, I got this. Kind of like your layer brief. Right? That's not telling me what to do. That's reminding me what to do. And there's a huge difference, y'all. So as we write the ripples out, and we remain who we are, every individual content creator, humor and all. You know, ever hesitation, don't hesitate. I don't like drama. I don't like it brought to me. But if there's something I need to be aware of, like I'm going to have a sale and hey, I need to be aware some stuff stirring or whatever, but you're not a plot stir, drop me an email and be like, hey, just a heads up. Okay? I don't unsolicit drama though, okay? Trust me, there's plenty of areas in the YouTube universe to find that content. We're just trying to do it the right way. In the most legal way we can do it with our clothes on. That's not a joke, y'all. Sort of, but it really hasn't. All of 2026, I've considered it. And that isn't the person my mom erased either, but my mom also told me to use what I had. So I used the one I had today, well, last night, and I reached out for a porch talk, like we're doing here. Just not thoroughly like that, because it just was grounding and reminding who I am. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Crafty girl, get some rest. Jason Maker. Past that, y'all. Deb's wood burning and Lisa Lucky Finds. No, Lisa Fun Finds. Sorry, y'all. Lisa Fun Finds. Are they out? This is Tuesday. Let me grab Lisa's link, y'all. Y'all don't have to go over if you don't want to. It's okay. But I tell you what, if you do a solid and you go over and say hi, you got a few minutes, great. If you don't mind stopping by, if you do have a moment and just hit the thumbs up. You know, we don't know where the thumbs come from, y'all. We just know that that's someone saying hey. They were saying hi, but can't come in the chat or something, you know? So give me a second. I'm waiting for the tablet's here. Laptop over here to grab the link. Y'all, I want y'all to know I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm aware that we are not always everyone's cup of tea. And that's okay. Sometimes I don't like tea. Sometimes I like coffee. Right now, I'm a tea person, not a coffee person. FYI. All right, there is the link. Come on. YouTube. Be on YouTube. Good night, y'all. And again, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, I'll answer them to the best of my ability without any nonsense. All right, that is Lisa's live. They are live right now. They are in auction, but I'll tell you what, y'all, if you want a good group, they can be rowdy ever so often, but there's a lot of laughs and humor. Roll over there and tell Deb and Lisa and Patsy and Patty. I don't know that they're all on panel, y'all, because I didn't stay to look. I just grabbed the link. So typically it's Lisa, Deb, Patty, Patsy, Viv, Mary Beth, I think at least one day a week, possibly two with one or both. I don't know, y'all. Yeah, it's a fun atmosphere. It can't feel overwhelming because sometimes all of us come in around the same time, and sometimes we get rowdy because we just feed off of each other. We're frisky squirrels. Y'all, if I had the ability to bring these For Jessica, Friday I will. But that would be the only way I would do them. So, y'all have a great night. Mr. Can you help me close out, please?
Sorry, my body's saying enough.
I know.
Very limited sleep is not fun.
All right. Mister,
Hmm.
where are you going?
Bed.
Where are you going to be tomorrow?
Back here,
6,
but not early. It'll be evening.
6 p.m.?
Yeah.
And then Friday again, too?
Sure.
Y'all, reach out if you want, need to, whatever. I will get to you as quickly as possible. With that, I will not be jumping into email until tomorrow because I still not slept other than a cat nap twice today, once in the vehicle and once after I get off with the ladies. So, no, if you have any pending emails to me, I haven't responded, it'll be tomorrow, okay? Other than that, y'all, we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, y'all.
Night, everyone.